Just out of curiosity, do you need to record everything?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Any particular reason other than the
Well,
weirdness?
this because it's massively entertaining, but I record all. I mean, this is set up by default, but
It's not. No, it's
but
not.
for my
Well,
oh yeah,
You set it up by default. You
yeah,
can do that. You could
yeah.
also
I
set it up
set it up
default
so
to
all of
not
my
record.
meetings have a recording that sends me notes afterwards. Yeah.
This isn't a business meeting. This is a
No, it's
conversation.
not. But I told you that in this case I keep it because of how entertaining it is. So you got me here, and my only ask to you was, what's my argument that you're complaining about? I never even made an argument yet.
I sent you your argument. It was the first point that you made.
That you're a socialist?
You've made it again, but now you're pretending like you didn't make a point. So you either did or you didn't. Which is it?
That's not an argument. All right, like
Well,
me calling
you
you a
said you didn't
socialist.
say argument. You said what was
First
my
off,
point?
okay. I called you that, and we already settled that. All right, like those are socialist policies. They're not communist. They're socialist policies. Do you disagree with
Explain what
that?
socialism is.
It's more towards a merge to equity.
No, it's an economic stimulus plan to create equality among its people.
Thank you, equity.
Okay. Yes. No. Equity is
Equity
just
is
money in
equality.
itself. Equity could be how much equity I have in a house. That's equity.
No. You're thinking of.
Go ahead. Use a sentence in with equity to explain socialism.
Why don't you look it up?
I have equity. I have equity in both my properties. I know what equity means.
Yeah, but could you possibly be looking at it just being a double definition?
Explain how equity defines socialism in its entirety.
Equity, the quality of being fair and just, especially in a way that takes account and seeks of others to address existing inequalities.
Okay.
Equity.
Okay. And tell me what's wrong with that then. So tell me what's wrong with that then.
It's not your
property. Break that down then.
What's that?
Let's break that down. What's so bad about what you just
read?
Okay,
so now that we know what equity is, what was the sentence you just gave me? It was a capital.
What is so bad about what you just said? Go ahead, read what you said again. You just taught me something.
Definition.
You just taught me something. Okay. Now tell me exactly what was bad in that statement, or that definition rather.
In your definition?
No, the definition you just read.
Nothing's bad in it. It's equity.
So then I don't understand. So then what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with equity?
What you just said. The definition you just gave. Read it again and you give me 1 point. Stop at any point where you think it's bad.
I never said. Wait.
You just gave a definition.
Now you're saying I think equity is bad. I don't need to read the definition for equity.
Okay, so then tell me where this is bad.
I don't need to read the definition.
Where is it bad?
For equity is just bad in itself.
So you're unable to answer the question. I'm just going to pretend I'm like you. Where is it bad in there? Where is the definition bad?
Go ahead.
Where in that definition? Read the definition again and stop where you think it's bad.
Okay. Since I don't think it's bad anywhere, I'm going to read the whole thing for you. The quality of being fair and just, especially in a way that takes account of and seeks to address existing inequalities. Now, what do those policies do?
Could you name something bad in that definition?
Okay, we're arguing the fact that these are
you brought it up.
Policies.
You brought it up. You read the definition.
Andrew, I'll just ask you the question.
You just said it was bad.
Because you dodged it. My only argument to you is that these are so.
So where in there is it bad?
Where did I say that it was bad?
You started off with you believe in equity, right?
You started off by giving me a whole bunch of policies that are not capitalistic.
And then you gave one, correct? So we're working with your definition.
So listen, there's nothing bad towards socialism. I never said that.
I'm pretty sure you have.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me the time and stamp of it.
Jordan, you just said it
we've had
at
a
the beginning of
conversation
this.
for 20 minutes.
You didn't point out equity because it would argue my point, did you, Jordan?
What is your argument right now?
You gave a definition, and I'm asking you to point something out in that definition that's bad.
There's nothing in the definition that's bad.
So then where are you going with that then?
I'm going with that equity is the same thing as your definition as socialism. You said, what is socialism? And I said, it's equity. You said, no, it's not. It's capitalism.
So you brought up equity.
That
now,
comes to equality.
Show me. Okay. You created a definition for us, which is factual now, and we know it's factual. Where are you going with it?
Okay, so now that you asked me if I know what socialism is, and I've identified that I do, where we're going with it is that all of the policies that you listed are socialist policies. I didn't say it was good or bad. I said that I agree with some of the policies. So what's the point of the conversation? What's that?
What's the point of calling me a commie if it's not all bad?
Oh my God. In the very beginning, that was just me giving a jab, and then I told you that. I was
That's
like,
my point, Jordan, is that you gotta get the jab
so it's feelings. It comes down to feelings. Okay.
No, I think you calling me a commie hit your
on
feelings.
That one thing when like right afterwards, I'm like,
I don't say it.
It's just me being hyperbolic, but it is socialist. Dude, you're still talking about that?
Yeah, you don't make much sense. You brought it up
Explain
yourself.
How am I not making much sense? Oh, for me to
your
say
first
that you're
response
and then
was that
is that
I'm a commie. You
and then the
called me a
text message
commie.
after tell you that I'm kidding. Tell me how I'm wrong now.
You're still debating like I'm the one that's wrong here. Like I'm a communist.
When did
right?
Okay. Did I call you a communist?
You called me a commie.
Yeah. Same thing. That's what I meant by it. Communist.
Yeah.
In the next sentence, did I say, no, I was just being hyperbolic, but it is socialist?
So, yes, you did say that.
Okay.
And then you said,
so that's done. I don't think that you're a communist.
No, hold up. You wrote commie was hyperbole since it moves in that direction.
Socialism moves towards communism.
And then you write, literally right after, you want a monarchy and a king?
Oh, because then you mentioned Sweden.
Oh, so you...
Oh, what?
It was a joke. It was hyperbole, but it's not so much hyperbole, is it?
What are you talking about?
A monarchy and a king?
You mentioned Sweden, didn't you?
Yes, I mentioned Sweden.
You said, are these policies good? I go, yeah, but they have
Sweden has a king.
They're under a monarchy. I was like, okay, so you want
Sweden doesn't have a king.
What's that?
Sweden doesn't have a king.
I don't know the detail. Does it? Let's see. I mean, all I know is that it's not the same economical system that we're under. But hold on. Okay, hold on. Just give me a second. We can, because unless you know for sure.
No, they don't have a king, bro.
They
may have had kings in the past.
Okay, well, you know, what were we talking about? Sweden?
And even if they do have a king, it's like England, right?
Right, dude. So what are you complaining about?
I'm complaining because you said monarchy.
I haven't had any arguments to you. This is my point.
You called me a commie, then it said it was a joke, and then you said you want a monarchy and a king. I think you jabbed, then took it back, and then jabbed again.
Okay, well, first off, a monarchy and a king aren't socialist. That's somebody ruling. That's a ruling class.
And where did I mention ruling class?
Dude, you are so
fragile
and emotional. All I said was
that free transportation. And then you went into your three-tier.
Give me 3 seconds and I'll explain the king monarchy, okay? My only understanding of it was that it wasn't a capitalism country and it had a structure similar to that. So that was my response to you. It was completely separate from the communists. And guess what?
Literally the text right after.
Communists don't have kings. So you wouldn't be going in the right direction anyway. That's not.
It's your point. It's your point, not mine.
Hold on. Your point is that I called you communist, then I took it back, and then I said that you want kings. That's
you didn't
not
entirely
going back
take
to
it
communism.
Back because you said
that's not going back to communism.
Going in that direction, moves in that direction. Right. You did not entirely take it back. I wouldn't say that, I guess.
What it sounds like to me is that you're emotional over the terms I said, and you don't want to engage in the argument. You just want to fixate on, oh, well, you said this, oh, you said that.
But what else am I supposed
I
to
don't
go
want to
on
talk
other
about
than
the
what
meta
you say?
conversation. We can just talk about the conversation, okay? You don't need to get all caught up and carry it down like 10 minutes later that I called you a communist and I mentioned a king and you took the whole thing out of proportion. Just engage with the argument there is, which the argument was,
it's funny
hey,
because
Andrew,
you put it
what
on the
argument
table.
do I give you? What's that?
You're the one that put it on the table, not me.
Put what?
The commie, the monarchy system, and the king. You're the one that said those
and you're
things,
the one
not
who's
me.
offended by it, and
I'm not offended. I just can only go off of what you tell me.
Well, you called me a commie.
What else would you
what
like me
about
to talk
this?
about?
So then, if you're not offended, then why don't we move on?
Because you said it. What do you want me to say? I'm going to respond to it.
Then respond to it.
I did.
Okay, so let's move on.
Okay, done. This is exactly why you can't
this
say
is
these
what
things
a
in
debate
text.
is, Andrew. Unfortunately,
No, a debate is not calling somebody else a commie. That's not a debate. That's not
are
a
you
debate.
here? Let me ask you this: are you satisfied with the communist king debate that you want to have right now, where all it was
not the
was
debate I want to have
name,
right now.
where all it was
the
me
debate I
calling you
wanted
name.
to have.
What's that?
It's not the debate I wanted to have, but you said that.
Okay, I said it, and you keep bringing it up, so I guess we're off of it.
We literally have been on here for about 4 or 5 minutes, so this hasn't been the duration.
Okay, good point. I'll give you that. That's fair. Let's see. Just so we both know, though, because it's good for both to have an education. It's a constitutional monarchy and a parliamentary democracy. I mean, which doesn't have any impact on what the conversation is, but just so we could clear it up. His title is King Sweden, but he has no governing power. It's weird, dude.
Yeah, it's just like England.
It's like the UK. But yeah, I mean, going back to our text thread, I mean, I just want to know what. I mean, do you? It seemed that's probably what you were arguing with right there. So that aside, do you want me to give you my argument?
If you want to make a point, by all means.
I just have to think about it so I frame this correctly. Okay, so you think the U.S. is amazing? I mean, we're the best country in the world. We have the most technology. That's key to this. Okay. Do socialist countries produce that type of output?
So a country is either socialist or capitalist.
And this doesn't dispute your point yet, because I'm just setting ground here. So
I don't think any country is purely anything.
Well, yeah, but there's a core philosophy to every country. Ours is
there might be a core.
Yeah, ours is capitalism. Chinese is communism.
It depends on what part of China.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
If you go to Beijing, it's a democracy.
But the core aspect
it's for open free trade. So like, that's not a good argument.
But is it capitalism? Is it capitalism?
In Beijing, it's capitalism. I believe that's why parts of
Beijing. I said, hold on.
Or no, maybe it's Hong Kong. I forget. One of their cities have basically.
Are those the same things as China?
Yeah. China declares that they own parts of these. And forgive me because I don't remember the city it is, but there is one of the cities which is highly influential.
I could be wrong
from the Western world.
Because I wasn't. Look, all I know is that they're very communist based, but I have been a little bit unclear on exactly how, because they do produce things, and look, they could probably produce things under the communist structure. But anyway, that's going off on another tangent. So do you think that socialist countries, let's say we all start from scratch, who do you think is going to make the iPhone first?
Well, we don't even make the iPhone.
Yes, we do. We came up with the idea of the iPhone.
Yes, but they're not manufactured.
That's what I'm talking about.
They're not manufactured. They're not manufactured in the United States.
The next step. Okay, manufacturer's the next step.
Oh, man.
Who would have the iPhone first? Come on, why don't you answer in good faith instead of dodging? Do you think it's a socialist country?
The iPhone?
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be the iPhone. Who invents the computer first?
Who would get the Samsung first?
Right, exactly.
You have the same argument.
Which do you think it is? Just choose one.
Well, Samsung would probably be released in Japan first, correct?
No. You're missing my point. Listen.
I think I'm combating your point with a more logical point. The iPhone is obviously an American company. It's not based in the United States. Its main base is in California, yes.
Yep.
But
so
it's not made in the
an
United
American
States.
company, and it was an American idea. No other country had the idea. And now China has the privilege of producing everything for it, but we created it, right? Would socialist country or a socialist country actually be able to create the iPhone?
I'm sure that they'd be able to, yes.
Now, I mean, you're saying it's possible, but if everybody is, under a equality system where there's no need for one person to compete with the other, then how would anybody have any motivation to even get there? There's no motivation, which is the reason why capitalism and the capitalist countries do much better than socialistic countries. And we're the ones who create invention because we are. Let me just put it this way. Here's an anecdote. In Cooperstown, where I live right now, their hospital, the paradigm is a socialist paradigm. So no other, hospitals or private practices can come in. The hospital has like a monopoly on this like really small area. And so every doctor here is paid on salary, right? In New Jersey, for instance, my father, he gets paid by the work he does. So, what would happen with my father is he works nights, and, if he gets his beeper goes off because somebody broke their neck in the middle of the night in a drunk driving thing, or let's not say drunk driving, but like a bad sports accident, my father has the motivation to come right in and, assist because he's going to get business from it. Here,
so that's a private practice.
Just let me finish. Right? Yes, private practice. Here, because he is salary, he can go in and he's going to make the same amount of money. Why is he going to go in 3 a.m? He's going to sleep unless it's absolutely required. That's the only way. Unless it's absolutely required, that doctor is going to sleep until the morning and see you, when he first comes into work. So, do you see the differences in between those two models?
So you say Medicaid and Medicare don't work?
No, I didn't say that. Do you see the difference? Can you repeat my question back to me?
You just gave me the.
Can you repeat my question back to me?
You just gave me a privatized idea of what private medicine is.
No, I gave you an analogy on socialism.
On private medicine. Does your father work for the state, or does he have his own practice?
Does he work for the state?
Does he get paid from an institution? Or does he have his own practice?
No, that's the whole point. For instance,
there's 2 different forms of healthcare. There's the government healthcare,
okay. I got you.
Privatized. So what I'm asking is, what does he work for?
So when he was working, he had his own private practice. Now, contrast to Cooperstown, you're not allowed to have a private practice here. He wouldn't be able to start private practice because it's socialist. Everybody's on salary. Everybody's equal.
Beautiful thing.
Okay, so do you think it's a beautiful thing that you're going to have to wait in the ER, until the morning because the doctor doesn't have any incentive to come in?
There's rules and regulations, there's schedules, I'm sure.
Just answer the question directly, though.
No, I don't think it would be any different than from a state that allows private practices.
Well, I just gave you the example that with the state that allows private practices, my father's in there right away so he can get the business. He gets paged, he goes in, treats them, and says, okay, good, here's a cast, follow up with me, in XYZ. Okay, that's why, now look, that's a capitalist society. this small section, which is like, we have a lot of socialism aspects in America. This is one of them. It's a small medical socialized thing. Like, for instance, like what would be another example? I think like the, well, actually, no, that's a bad example. But at least let's agree on these two things. Do you see the difference in between the two paradigms?
No, I don't see a difference. No.
Okay, how do you differentiate? You explain to me, how do you differentiate capitalism from socialism?
Capitalism creates a monopoly within itself.
Capitalism doesn't create a monopolies.
If you let me talk for more than 2 seconds, I'll explain why.
Fair.
What is Exxon to you? Is that a capitalistic company?
Is Exxon American?
Of course it is.
All right. So what's Exxon? It's no, it's not. Is it a capitalistic company? Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay. And have they created a monopoly because
No,
of that?
there's tons of different gas station brands.
What are the other ones?
Cinco.
How much of them are actually owned by
Esso
and
it doesn't
Exxon?
matter. It's not a monopoly. All right, I'm just
when
gonna
a
ask
company
right now.
when a company is broken up.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, if it grows and gets big enough, then we can, like what the U.S. did with AT&T. You can, or I mean, Bell Atlantic, is you can actually break them up. Now, I don't know if somebody feels that Exxon's a monopoly, they can bring it to court and say it's a monopoly and have it get broken up.
Jordan. They already
What's
have.
that?
They already
It already has.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So so it's not a monopoly anymore.
The companies that broke up, the owners are still the beneficiaries of all that. You think because a company broke up that the CEO and whoever these owners are not making profit off these other broken up companies?
That's capitalism, that you make a profit. And it says that ExxonMobil is not a monopoly. It says
so you went online and it says that Exxon is not a monopoly.
Confirming what you say.
What kind of American company would say that they're a monopoly?
Can you give me the definition of monopoly?
When you destroy the competition.
Right.
I'll give an example.
It controls nearly 100% of the market, right?
Okay, and ask how much Exxon controls in America. I'll do it myself just because.
Okay, hold on. You know what? We diverted because all I was asking you is the difference in between capitalism and socialism. Just give me that how you see the difference, because I gave you mine.
One second.
Take your time.
What was your question again? I'll answer it now.
Yeah, what's the difference? What is your explanation of what the difference is in between socialism and capitalism?
Capitalism is supposedly free market. Socialism is capped.
No, socialism is a capped market.
Is a capped market. Yes, correct.
Okay. Would you?
I'll give you an example.
No. I can agree with that.
I'm going to give you an example.
Agree with that.
The example is the NFL. It's a capped system. It's created parity within the league because you're only allowed to spend a certain amount. If you go over that threshold, you actually have to fund other teams below you that don't spend nearly as much as you. So you have
It's
to
an
pay
interesting. Yeah.
you have to pay what they call a owner's tax. So the bottom tier teams get that funding. There's a certain percentage, and once it's past that
Yeah.
threshold, that money needs to go down to the lower tier
Okay.
teams.
Yep. Yeah.
It works perfectly in the NFL. It works perfectly in baseball. It works perfectly in hockey. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's not in baseball. It's in hockey, basketball, and football. It's not in baseball.
See, I can agree with those concepts.
Look, there is socialism woven
So,
into
the thing is that I
which
think
is
that
the point.
socialism, it goes back to what we were saying, though. You just said one doesn't.
Socialism is just a bad word when it comes to Trump supporters. They throw around socialism and commie
All
like it's
right,
fucking left,
let's
right,
leave
center.
out what we think people
It's
believe.
not think.
Okay, this
It's
is
not
about you
think.
and
It's
me.
not. It's not think,
Okay. Well, you
Jordan.
made the point.
This
Okay,
is the
good. Now let's
reality
bring it
of the
back to
United
us.
States.
Now let's bring it back to us. Would you say that one is there for one causes inequity and the other causes equity, equality?
Which one? Which one would cause equity, in
Which
your opinion?
inequality? Um, Capitalism,
Would cause what?
inequality.
Interesting. Why do you say that?
Poor people are at the bottom, rich people are at the top. They're not equal.
Okay. And where are you going with this?
Well, you just gave a definition of socialism where one's capped and one's not, which I said, okay, I think that that's good, but I think we can expand it. And I was wondering if you could agree with me that capitalism has inequality built in right into the system, while socialism has equality built right into the system.
Okay. And where are you going with this?
These are definitions that I want to make sure that we are agreeing on, because you are giving me your definition of the difference in between capitalism and socialism. So that's where we're going with this, and it seems like we're forming a definition right now. So do you agree with what I just said?
90%. Yeah. There's some nuances to it, but yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, everything has nuance. All right. So well, I mean, outside of that, I don't know where we were going.
You called
You
me a
know,
commie.
so you are upset. You're
No,
still upset over
I just don't
what
understand. What
I
was your point
jabbed
of
at
me
you in the
saying
beginning. You
just
just
get to
can't drop this, can you? You can't move
no,
on to
it's
the next
it
conversation.
was your first argument.
Yep, it
So I
was my
want to know
first
why you
argument giving
so
you a
then
jab.
give me your true feeling as to why you called me a commie.
I called you a commie as a exaggeration of the social policies that you like. You like many more social policies than I do.
And why are social policies bad to you?
Because when you reach a certain threshold, then you don't have capitalism anymore, and the country is not going to be I mean, it's going to lose its greatness.
So we should get rid of all public schools.
That's one aspect that I say that I agree with. I mean, look, you can have socialism and capitalism. I mean, we have it right now. So
Exactly. That I've never said that we should be a socialist country. What I'm saying is that this
no, but
country is so rich
the ideas
that
that
we can give back to the people. Like, why is that
yeah,
wrong?
I never said it was wrong. Now is giving
Well,
back
I
to
mean,
the
your first reaction was that to call me a commie. Whether you were joking or not, there is some reality to that. There's some truth to that.
the truth is that you tend to that you like a lot more socialist policies than I do. That was the only
I am
Andrew, it's
Jordan.
not even a big deal.
I have a tattoo on my arm of the American flag. I'm
Look,
sure you
I'm
think that
not
I
calling
want.
you
I'm
anti-American.
sure, yes, but there are people that stand where you stand because if we had to draw a line and we go to the voters' fucking booth, you are standing with Trumpies and I'm standing with liberals for the most part. Okay, you are the company that you keep. I guess I support freedom of
You
sexual
you
orientation.
support transgender men playing in sports with women,
That's less than 1% of the population.
but you support it.
I support the idea of how do we fix it.
So you don't support it?
I don't think that we've already had this conversation before, but I'll say it again just to appease you. I don't believe that men should be transitioning men should play with women. However, the caveat there is that you guys have turned it into a slogan.
Well, no,
You've turned
nobody
it
nobody
into,
wants it. Well,
and
if you really
it's
didn't want it,
literally
then
there has been
no, because
uh
nobody wants it. It's not a slogan. We're saying
yeah, but
stop. There's no
yeah, but
slogan to it. It's like we
if you
don't
look
want that.
if
If
you look up
you
how
want to
many
see a guy
people,
beat up a woman in
what
boxing,
how many of those happen per year? I
well,
could
that
tell
happened
you.
in the Olympics.
Not in the United States.
I know.
So what the fuck does that matter?
You know what happened in that boxing
What does
match?
that have to
The
what does that
woman
have to
got
do
hit.
with what does that have to do with our political scope that we're talking about here? Some boxer in Europe or in where it happened? Not here. So I don't get how that's supposed to change my mind about who I vote for.
This has nothing to do with who you vote for. This was
Yes, it does,
made.
because your side hates transgenders as well as you.
No, I
You
don't
guys,
hate transgender.
you know how badly
Make that up.
transgenders wanted to be seen as the reason Charlie Kirk died? I mean, dude, all you have to do is just open up your Twitter and see prominent political, figures just
Say that again.
calling. All you have to do is open
No,
your
what you said about
Twitter
Charlie Kirk.
that they wanted to blame his death on transgenders, and that transgenders are all of a sudden the most violent people in America. That's the argument that your side is on.
Well, is it statistically true?
No, it's not even. It's nowhere near true.
So yeah,
Straight white males
what
are.
did you say the claim was? Because I never claimed this. What that transgender are the most violent people in America? Did you just say that?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I never said that. So I mean, again, you're
It doesn't
debating.
matter whether
Look,
you said it
look,
or
here's the
not.
thing.
You
Here's the
stand with them, right?
No, you support a party 110% and you don't deviate from it. There's tons of things that I disagree with.
Exactly. You're about to go into. You're about to go. See,
I would have actually voted Democrat if I thought it was,
there's not a lot. There's not a lot. I don't think there's a lot of things that you disagree that Trump does. I don't think there's maybe one thing.
But I do have disagreements. I mean, you're right. That's what makes me go with him. I have more conservative values.
I know. You do not have conservative values. You don't work hard, Jordan. That's conservative value. Okay,
that is
you do not work hard.
Value, yeah.
No, it's not. You also
I said
are not
yes,
a Christian.
It is a conservative value. Do you want to go?
Yeah, okay.
You want to go to?
You're not a Christian.
Do you want to go to one of my 3 websites? Do you want to? Do you want to?
You are not a Christian. I'm naming things that make you not a conservative. You don't
know anything about my work.
Conservative. What about your work? You work in tech, Jordan. Since when is that conservative? Yes, you are. You probably are the top 10 laziest people I've ever met in my life.
Well, I will concede to the fact that I'm lazy, but I do work pretty hard.
No, you don't. You can't say those two things
in
the same sentence.
Oh,
no,
really?
You can't. I'm pretty lazy, but I do hard work.
Well, they say efficiency is laziness, just you're getting things done. So
I don't think that you get much done, Jordan.
Well, you don't know what I do get done and what I don't get done, right?
I know that.
What have I not gotten done?
You lived in your parents' house until recently. You're almost 50. How is that getting things done?
So it's wrong, and it's wrong if you move into your parents' house, you don't get anything done.
Yeah, if you're saving money for a house or going to plan on something big, but you didn't do any of that.
Or if you just came off of a medical crisis and got electric shock and needed time.
How many? I'm sorry, Jordan, but your choices that you made when you were younger led you to that. Okay, so you don't need to play this sympathy game here. You are not a conservative by heart. What you are, though, is a partial bigot. For whatever reason, you come from the least bigot place on the planet, and then you disappear, and then all of a sudden you have bigotry in you. You don't like women as leaders. You don't like transgenders, even though they're less than 1%
First off,
of the
that was a hyperbolic joke that you're still obsessing
That was
over.
not a joke, Jordan.
Like, see, well,
That was not
all
a
right,
joke.
because you can determine if I work hard or not, even though you don't know my work at all.
Jordan, I can tell by what you do. I can just tell, Jordan.
Yep. From 2 states away, you can
You're
just tell.
almost 50 and you just got your own place. That in itself,
Bro,
is enough.
Bro, I've had my own place tons of times. All right. My
Tons of
entire
times,
life,
yeah.
I've had my own place since I was 18.
Sure,
all right. This is
sure.
just a gift that I had.
It's not, I'm not talking about a room in your mom's house, bro. All right. You were asking for Ben for money up until 2018.
I've never asked Ben for money.
Yes, you did. I was in the car with you how many times? It's not like you just turned 25.
You're thinking about Sergio. I've never asked him for money. I mean, if I
Jordan,
did, Ben, if I look, okay,
Jordan,
okay.
You asked me for money, and I'm not even that rich.
This is the thing. This is your thing. Right now, you're just attacking me. All you are is attacking me.
I'm sorry, but did you
do
call
not
me
want
a
to talk
commie?
about any aspect except try to attack me over things you know nothing
You're
about.
not a conservative, Jordan.
Okay, I'm not conservative. Let's move on to the next argument.
Fine. But you're not. You're definitely
not. You
likely,
know
you're
better
not
than
like
me.
the people you stand with.
Yep, you know better than me.
I mean, yeah. I'm sorry, but what makes you a conservative? You could easily point them out for me. I know that. But what makes you a conservative?
I'm not for DEI.
That doesn't make you a conservative. That
Yes,
makes
it
you a
is. That's
Trumpy. That makes you a Trumpy. That makes you a Trumpy, not a conservative.
Well, okay, here we go. I mean,
That's
look,
that's a new phenomenon.
Emotions here.
Give me some conservative talking points.
Oh, you're a Trumpy. Oh, it's like, who cares, dude? You know what? Like, still contend with the argument.
What's so wrong with being a Trumpy? You're proud of it, right?
Are you proud of being a child molester?
Who
are you proud of being a child molester?
Who molested who?
My point exactly. All right,
who molested
stop
who?
giving me bullshit questions.
No, that didn't make any sense. That didn't make any sense.
Yes, it does. It made as much sense as you asking me if I'm a Trumpy, me asking you if you are proud of child molesters. Or that
I called you a political name. I called you a political name.
Like, dude, seriously?
You just called me a child rapist? I called you a Trumpy. That's not the same.
There's nuance in it. It was me making.
So explain the nuance.
Thing. Doesn't matter if it's so. Okay. So then technically, I'm not. Since I know you're not a child molester, then I'm not a Trumpy. If that's
you are a Trumpy.
Okay, so then you're missing the point. My point is,
I'm not missing the point.
Me a Trumpy. You can switch it with anything. Oh, so are you proud of being gay? I mean, you know what? Like, you're just making this up.
I just answered. I'm proud of gay people.
What is the qualifications of somebody who's a Trumpy? Like, what's the level?
Well, you just named the first thing, DEI.
Okay.
You just named one of
okay,
many.
So you need to be against DEI, which has actually been deemed by the Superior Court.
No, they lost that. They lost that battle with the Harvard students. They lost that. So if you're going to say it correctly.
Who lost it? Harvard?
No, not Harvard.
Yeah, they said affirmative action is illegal.
They called it that, yes, but then nothing came of it.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, that's American aligned. So this isn't a Trumpy thing. This is a Supreme Court thing, which has justices on both ends.
And
actually, I'm wrong. It doesn't have justices on both ends, but
it does have justices on both ends. You said it correctly.
Well, it's not supposed to, though. That's what I
mean. Not supposed to.
I know.
Definitely agree there.
Yeah.
That in alone doesn't explain DEI. DEI in a court case with 4 Asians that are going to Harvard, which they ended up going anyway.
4 Asians had the case, but they were just look. Why is it? Oh, just because it was 4 Asians, it doesn't matter. Because I mean, first off,
How many Black Americans didn't get into Harvard just because they're Black?
They made a choice. They made a choice. They said, okay, we want more minorities in. All right, well, let's see. Who gets the highest SAT?
They want minorities that are
Asians.
qualified.
So let's make the
qualified.
If you're Asian,
minorities.
you can't get into Harvard unless you are above, you know, the highest point. Okay, that's messed up, dude.
Qualified minorities. There's a big difference. You're leaving that word out.
Would you say this? Would you say
Always
that?
qualified.
I have a question. Would you say that in a company, if people were if they only had a limited amount of positions, okay, and they had a bunch of people that wanted to get hired for it, but the company's initiative was that by 2020 something they want 30% minority, okay, would you say that the person who gets the job under this is taking the spot of somebody who would have actually been really qualified to get the position?
That's your problem. Really qualified. No, I don't think that. No.
All right. So here, let's remove DEIs for a second. Okay. So you have a bunch of people. One person, I mean, you have like a bunch at the top, is extremely, extremely qualified for the position. Okay. However, the policy that the company has, it says, well, we want to have a minority growth of having 30% of them, you know, by 2020, whatever, and they decide to choose the minority, which is still good. He's still good. He's not shit, but he you know, the qualified. Wouldn't you think in logic that if that were to happen at one point, it might not be in every situation, but at one point, somebody who was there to deserve it didn't get it because of somebody else who was just getting in because of race. Would you agree with that?
No. And if you want me to tell you why, I will.
Tell me my question back to me.
No, I'm not going to do this. I just disagreed with you.
You don't know my question. So I'll say it again.
I disagreed with you. There's no need to repeat yourself.
Let me say it one more time.
I disagreed with you. The point is that DEI, name one instance where DEI has affected a company, a brand, a situation. Name one instance.
Harvard.
That's not even close. Those are kids that supposedly didn't get in because of that. For instance,
no, it was
Charlie Kirk, right?
The Supreme Court, they didn't get in because of that.
No.
Okay, tell me what happened.
What was the ruling on the Supreme Court with the Asian kids that applied for Harvard and claimed that they didn't get in because they weren't a minority group that the school was looking for? Tell me in 75 words or less.
In 2023, the Supreme Court ruled 6-3 in Students for Fair Admissions v. Harvard.
Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Repeat yourself. Repeat yourself, Greg.
Yeah, kinda. Sounds like a faint hum. Maybe your AC or something. What is it? In 2023, the Supreme Court struck down race-based admissions at Harvard and UNC 6-3, ruling them unconstitutional under the 14th Amendment.
Thank you.
Asian applicants argued bias. The court agreed diversity can't justify discriminating against groups like them. Chief Justice Roberts said ending race preferences promotes equal opportunity.
And what happened with those kids?
Hold on. Do you concede you were wrong about that?
No. The ruling.
Well, you just told me that the Supreme Court didn't, and now it just told you it did. Are you
6-3? Yes, six conservatives to three Democrats. No, it's just not enough. I'm sorry.
See, here's the thing. This is where you're bad. No matter what, even the
you hold on to.
Will not let you possibly be wrong.
Name a second one. Name a second one.
If we're not going to use a Supreme Court ruling, what are we going by? Your judgment?
Name a second one. Name a situation where a company actually suffered.
See, dude.
You can't name one.
The airlines.
Where?
Let's see here. It's I had to let's see. According to the International Air Transportation, the aviation industry launched in 2025 an initiative to have underrepresented areas at least 25% of pilots. Hold on. So thereas in the airlines, there were a bunch of different issues. Some of it that made it all the way to the investigating.
How did the company suffer?
So
or
first
the,
there was
or the airline industry?
How did it suffer?
Yes. How was DEI
it
hires
doesn't
in
matter.
the airline?
This isn't about
How are DEI
hold on.
hires
You think
detrimental?
this has nothing to do with the company, Andrew. Do you think DEI
Okay,
means the company's going to
airlines
do better?
in general.
My
Airlines in
argument
general.
is DEI prevents people
You
to go
said airlines.
the company.
You said airlines. How is it detrimental to the airline industry?
It was. I mean, if
It
I don't know if it was
exactly.
or wasn't. It's not my
It
argument.
wasn't.
I'm saying it's detrimental to the pilot who wanted.
And
to
make an argument where a company or conglomerate was harmed by
I
DEI
never had that
hires.
argument. The argument, my
So
argument
what's the
is
point
that
of against
DEI
DEI?
is unfair to the people. I didn't
No,
say
you
that
made
companies
that
that work
argument.
for it.
They have to be qualified. They have to be qualified. That's why the argument doesn't work. DEI, you still have to be qualified. The problem is that if a resume has Muhammad at the beginning, you can't just turn the page anymore. You have to at least have him in the building. If it sounds like a black name, Jerome is on the resume.
That's
you have
not
to
true
at
anymore.
least what is true? The fact that
That's
they
true
have
anymore.
to at least interview them, or if they still have to be required to have a
Yeah,
stand.
I guarantee you right now,
Because you can't name a single conglomerate or company that suffered because of DEI.
Exactly. Exactly.
You
So
cannot name one.
First off, my point is not about companies suffering, because that's not the point.
Well, then where else would DEI be other than your 4 Harvard students? Other than that, where else would it be?
It's not about so if, for instance, Harvard, did Harvard suffer, or did the Asians that didn't get in suffer? Who suffered more?
So that's your only point. 4 Asians that said,
not 4 Asians.
This is all circumstantial.
Like,
this is all circumstantial evidence.
And even if it is 4 Asians, like, why does that make it okay?
So I'll give you somebody else's, Charlie Kirk's, and you started with it, but then when you realize that you don't have an argument, you backed off from it. Charlie Kirk said, if I saw a black pilot, the first thing that come to my mind is, boy, can they fly? Are they capable of doing this? I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he said. Now, you mean to tell me that you brought up the airline industry? Charlie Kirk brought it up, but what was detrimental to those companies? What happened during those DEI hires in the 8 years of Obama, in the 4 years of Biden? What happened in there that you could point to and say, see, DEI did that?
Yeah, that a pilot who felt was more qualified did not get hired because they had a 30% emission.
So somebody unqualified, in your opinion?
No. The other person was less qualified. He's still qualified. He was just less.
So what you're saying is that this less
saying
person,
that's not based on meritocracy.
So what you're saying is that somebody was hired that wasn't as qualified as maybe somebody else. Is that what you're saying?
Why don't we have DEI then?
No. You're not going to get off your airline.
No,
you brought it up.
This is the point.
So you're saying that somebody was hired in the airline industry that maybe was less deserving than something else, right? Correct?
My point is not less deserving. Nobody's less deserving.
Not as qualified.
Exactly. Somebody who's less qualified.
Now, what was the cause and effect of that hire? Where's the effect part? You named the
effect part
cause.
was that
Where's the
somebody didn't get a
effect?
job who was qualified.
And what detrimental happenings happened for that company to say that
I
was the
never
mistake?
made an argument. This is a ghost
So
argument.
then, if
People argue it.
the main
I don't care
point
about
of
the
flying,
companies. I don't
if
care
the
about
main
Harvard. I don't
if
care
the
about
main point of flying is
dude.
safety,
Dude,
if the
will
main
you let me
point of
speak?
flying is safety, I'm speaking now. If the main point of flying is safety, aviation safety, and it's the safest form of flying, where does your argument gain traction?
Well, it doesn't gain any traction on the argument you're giving me because I don't care about
What
the
other
airlines. I care
you
about
brought up the
how,
airlines, and your
yeah, I
boy
brought up
Charlie
the
Kirk
airlines about
brought
a
up the
pilot,
airlines as well.
2 pilots. Here's my example: 2 pilots, one who's less qualified,
Yes.
and the one who's less qualified gets in
Okay.
over the
There's the
qualified one. It's
cause.
not a
There's the
meritocracy.
cause.
Then
Now give me the effect. You've gone over the
what
cause
do you mean
many
the
times.
effect? That it's
Cause and
that
effect. You hire somebody that's not qualified or
no,
not
I never
as
said they weren't
or
qualified.
not
You're still
as
making up
qualified.
arguments. You're making up
Okay.
arguments.
What's the
They were
point of
qualified.
what's the point you're trying to make? If somebody is not as qualified as somebody else, something detrimental would happen, correct?
All right. Can you let me speak? What if the NBA had
No, don't get
no,
off the
oh
track.
no,
Don't get off the
Stop.
track.
I let you
So
speak.
you
This
can't
is a
do it,
direct
can you,
Don't cut
Jourdan?
me off. Don't cut me off. If this is
Don't
dumb,
don't change the
then you should
subject.
be able to
Your
answer this.
favorite saying is goalposts.
I'm going on to
Goalposts. You're moving the goalposts.
I'm not. Okay, then just to appease this hypothetical, okay? If the NBA said we want 30% of white people to be recruited by the next next 2 seasons, do you think that
You're proving
anybody
my point, but go on. Yes, because you're gonna prove my point, and you
okay,
don't even know it yet. Go
okay.
ahead. You're gonna
So
say
yeah,
what effect would it have, right?
well, no, again,
What
I don't
effect?
care about the
What,
effect. I'm just talking. Well, I guess that one would have an
that's
effect.
the main point, right? That's the effect is the main point.
But my point that I would argue is that the effect was that Michael Jordan didn't get in; some white person got in. That's my point.
And how would that affect the league?
Horribly.
Correct. So you have a cause and effect you just pointed out.
Yeah,
Now
from DEI.
Yes. Now
From
you
DEI, that does something.
you were
powerful.
able to do it in a situation that actually makes sense.
Dude, I gave
Jordan,
you
right.
Yeah. So
you just
my
said a
point
cause
is
and
proven.
effect, right? So if Michael Jordan wasn't able to come in a league because they wanted to have 30% white people, then that would make the league bad, right? It would make it worse.
Yeah. And that would make DEI
right?
a bad
now
thing.
tell
right?
me where the league, where the airline has gone bad.
Okay.
Where?
But right before I do, that would mean DEI is a bad thing, right?
Yes, of course. Yes,
it
of
is
course
a bad
it
thing.
would. Of course.
Then we have no.
No, because you named the cause and effect very easily on your point, which I agree with. Now name the effect in the airlines, because you've said that people that are not as qualified as maybe others have gotten jobs. Now where's the effect? You easily named it in the NBA.
So
name it in the airline industry.
So if you really want to be pedantic about this, there were cases that went to court about promotions that were being promoted in the airlines that people didn't get promoted. You're asking me a loaded question because I don't know the airline industry, like, except like from the high level view. But listen, in the end, we both agree DEI is bad.
But you couldn't give me the effect in the airline industry, like you
No,
did.
okay, I can't because I don't
it doesn't
know
exist
how it would. So
now, if there was some catastrophe,
no,
if there was
endless,
if there was endless accidents, endless errors, incompetency, which I'm not to say that it doesn't exist, because I've had airlines fucking where they delayed me hours. I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but I think that's always existed. I mean, I've been alive for 42 years. That's not a recent phenomenon. However, there's nothing for you to point to. There's nothing subjective. There's nothing that I can point to in that to say, look, that was it. The NBA was very easy. If you don't allow Michael Jordan in, the NBA suffers. It's easy.
Yeah. Right. So we shouldn't have
So,
DEI.
but your point is that
So we shouldn't have DEI for airports. We shouldn't have it for NBA.
Your error in your argument is that the people that were hired were qualified. That's why there wasn't a downturn in the airline industry.
Which I said everybody was qualified. It's just somebody was more qualified.
So what
You're making up, dude? You're completely twisting my words,
dude. The efficiency of the company is all that matters. The safety is all that matters. If that's not affected,
then you know what?
That's not affected.
You're the Republican.
Was
you care
that
about
affected?
Companies over people?
Was that? I'm not.
You care about companies over people?
I'm sorry, but
you care about companies over people?
Who was affected?
I keep on saying
who was affected?
Thing. My concern is my concern is Michael Jourdan.
Okay.
That's it. My concern is Michael
What
Jourdan.
Michael Jourdan wasn't hired in the airline industry?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I was making a point. Now you want me to give you examples about the airline industry
you're
on how DEI
you're giving hypotheticals.
All right. I will give you an example.
You don't
I will
have
give
a
you an
comparison.
example. I will give you an example. So first, before I do, because it's right in front of my face, I'm just going to remake the point again that I have not made the case that that this is to benefit or make better or worse any companies. I said that this is just solely for being unfair to the people. It's not a meritocracy. It's so that's my point. So, but to answer your question, lawsuits allege that the FAA's DEI hiring and assessment practices excluded qualified candidates. About 1,000
so that's really a different conversation than yours, right? Unqualified.
Excluded. No. Qualified.
Yeah, qualified.
Qualified candidates,
were
about
excluded.
1,000 that would be controllers, were rejected because of their of a new biographical assessment rules favoring candidates with no aviation experience.
Okay, you gave me the cause. Now give me the effect of how it hurt the company.
The airlines are massively understaffed, and there's been issues with the control centers, and there's been like a lot of errors with that recently.
Recently, who's been in power for the last 9
months?
No,
I'm talking about
3 months rather.
Dude, recently means like the last 5 years.
No. You don't understand. There was no
All right,
errors.
let me say not recently.
How many major accidents happened under Biden or Obama?
Again, you're going down a rabbit hole that I never even argued. This is about
this is about cause and effect.
Jourdan.
So
right,
so you gave, again, and let me reiterate. You gave a cause and effect with Michael Jourdan. You keep giving me the cause with the airline, but what was the effect?
The effect was that somebody who deserved a position did not get it.
And how did that affect the company?
I don't care about the companies.
Neither do I. So how did that affect? How did it affect the person taking the trip themselves? How did that affect the customer?
Somebody who is qualified, that has done very, very well as a pilot and has tons of experience, who was deservedly.
Did they still get the Cancun or not? Or Singapore, wherever they're going.
There was not. It was not a meritocracy.
Was the job done?
Somebody else.
Was the job done?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
The job that was done. Okay.
Yeah.
So it seems like they're qualified.
That's not my point, though. My point.
No, it's not a very good point. You're right about that.
Well,
if the job was done,
you're right.
If the job was done,
in
the job is done.
In a socialist society, you'd be absolutely right. In a meritocracy, like America,
it's cause and
effect. Wrong. So it's not a problem under your world.
It's a cause and effect.
But in
you have nothing.
The way I see it, I mean, it should be equality.
You have nothing tangible to point to say, hey, look at this accident. Hey, look at this airline that went under.
Right.
Hey, look at this.
All right. Let me just, you keep on. My argument isn't the airline. Okay. It was just,
okay. What customer has.
Let me just satisfy you. I already made my point for you with NBA.
What customer has suffered because of these hires?
Did I make my point with the NBA with you?
No, you did not, because you cannot transition that point to the airlines.
I moved away from the airline hypothetical, and I'm using the basketball as the DEI.
Okay, that's a hypothetical. The actual airline thing actually happened, right?
Well,
in your opinion.
The
The
hypothetical.
hypothetical is
logic
nowhere
or
near
something.
true because it's not happening. The airline industry, you said it is happening. So the cause and effect would be
Wait.
that the customer would suffer, correct? Because that's who you care about. So what customers have suffered?
See, you're making up arguments.
I'm not making up
When
arguments.
did I say anything about
you
the
said that the
company or the
NBA
customer?
would suffer because Michael Jordan
No,
wouldn't be in
this
there.
is so
that means
simple,
that
easy.
that
Okay,
means that
let
the
me,
customer
I mean,
that means
I
that
don't
the
know how to
customer
phrase
would
this.
suffer.
Let me think of another way.
What let me say it like a Dumbo to you. What bad things happen because of these hires?
Okay, so
To the customer.
so here,
To the
let's put it
customer.
this way.
What bad things
So I
happen to the customer?
I will agree with you that in some situations, I'm going to extend an olive branch here. I'll agree with you that in some situations, it doesn't even matter because the qualified, and then the overqualified, you're still, let's use the airline situation. I mean, you're not going to see that much of a fluctuation, but in something like sports with the NBA, DEI would massively disrupt that. In something like, the same thing happening as far as well, I mean, actually that's not part of the argument, but that's my point, that it's just the person that what if somebody who trained their entire life and was just everything soccer, and then all of a sudden instead somebody underqualified gets the position, not underqualified, well, less qualified gets the position because of a quota. Do you think that it makes sense to have quotas for companies? Let's start with that.
I think that an airline should look for diversity within the realm of qualifications.
So what if it's the fact that just like the NBA where it's prominently black, that for some reasons pilots are just prominently white? I mean, is there something wrong that there's not a more diverse mix in
I'm
the
so
pilot?
glad that you asked this.
Mhm.
I'm so glad that you asked
Well,
this. So black
before you
people make up
respond, I
13%.
will just make this one point. There has never been a pilot that has a colored pilot that has been pushed away or not let on who is qualified. So, all right, go ahead.
Recently, yeah, but I don't know if you know this, but black pilots weren't even allowed to fly in the military, even though they were trained.
Oh my God. Okay, fine, Andrew.
What?
But that
I'm sorry.
has
Does that
nothing
hurt?
to do with
Does
this
that hurt?
argument.
It has everything to do with it. It's part
Oh
of
my
history.
God, dude. Are you
I
serious?
know it destroys you.
How long ago was that?
Let's ask. When did black pilots allowed to fly in the U.S. military?
They weren't officially allowed until 1941.
1941.
Okay, so you want to make your argument based on 1941?
No, that was part of my argument. If you didn't get
go ahead,
into
keep
your
on going.
feelings, I could have kept going. So 1941, how did Jim Crow era laws affect pilots that wanted to work in the airline industry from the 60s up until the 80s?
Okay. All right, I think I know where you're going with this, and I can concede to this.
Black pilots faced brutal barriers like biased hiring, no training access, and outright exclusion from major airlines. Civil Rights Act of '64 cracked the door, but real change, slow. By late '60s, a handful broke in, like at United. Through the '70s, '80s, discrimination lawsuits and EEOC pushes diversified cockpits, but black pilots stayed under 2% until the '90s. Tough skies, man.
Okay, so a industry that was predominantly white was systemically made predominantly white, not because black pilots don't want to be pilots. It's because they weren't allowed to for a century almost.
So right now, I mean, and that's how it was back then, and I get it. I completely get that. But right now, are there a bunch of black people that want to be pilots that are just, not getting it because of discrimination?
Yes, there are plenty of black pilots, just like there's plenty of black pilots in the military.
Give me an example.
Okay. Percentage of black pilots right now in the military.
No. That's not the question I asked.
About 2% of active duty pilots in the U.S. military are Black, mostly in the Air Force and Navy. That's way below the 15 to 20% Black folks overall in the services.
Interesting. What
how
about
is
black
that- yeah,
pilots
it
right
is.
now? How about black pilots right now in the airline industry?
Around 3% of U.S. airline pilots are Black, up from
3%.
2% a decade ago, but still
3%, Jordan.
Now
So,
ask it one more
You
question.
mean to tell me?
Ask it one more question, which is how many pilots right now are being rejected from trying to be a pilot? Ask it.
How many black pilots do you think have been rejected for being a airline pilot?
Man, it's impossible to pin an exact number. Discrimination's sneaky and underreported. But lawsuits alone tell a story. Like 24 Black pilots suing United in 2012 for biased promotions, or over 200 in a multi-million-dollar settlement for hiring barriers.
DEI.
Throwing countless unreported rejections since this.
So 200 multi-million-dollar settlements for hiring barriers.
Yeah, and I disagree with that.
So you disagree with it?
Wait,
You
wait,
just brought a
what did it say?
lawsuit with-
They said 25 pilots, right?
It said 24 black pilots suing
24
United
black
for
pilots.
bias, or there's over 200 in multi-million-dollar settlements, which means there's more than just 24. The most prominent is those 24 black pilots.
Now,
Okay,
now
so
ask
what-
it over the last 5 years.
Okay. It also says, before you cut it off, throw in the countless unreported rejections since the 1960s, and we're talking about thousands easily. Underrepresentation screams.
All right.
What about over the last 5 years?
Hold on. Oh, okay.
Tough to quantify exactly. Rejections for race are often hidden or settled quietly. But lawsuits paint a picture. In 2023, EEOC filed suits against airlines like Southwest for biased hiring affecting Black applicants. A 2024 American Airlines case involved 3 Black men yanked from flights over bogus odor claims, spotlighting discrimination. Groups report dozens of complaints yearly, but unreported, likely hundreds over 5 years. Still climbing that ladder.
So
Right.
essentially, and I'll concede to this if that's the case, but it's a separate thing from our argument about DEI.
It's
But-
not separate, Jordan. The only argument that I've ever made is DEI is needed so that a black person cannot be overlooked. That is it. Or
You know
and not
what?
just black, Muslim, Jewish people, Chinese. It does not matter. Mostly it's brown people
You know
that
what?
are
I'm
overlooked.
gonna ask the same question here because Grok's known to be like massively
Oh.
liberal, and
It's not created by liberal.
I know, but it's created by the knowledge it's fed. And all of the
ChatGPT
news is liberal.
If
All right,
anything,
so then let me
ChatGPT
give
is
you
more
this
liberal.
instead. Let me give you this instead. Just listen to this. So the U.S., the Federal Aviation, the FAA has faced claims that DEI-related changes in hiring or screening helped contribute to a shortage of 3,800 air traffic controllers, which critics
In what year?
increased
What year?
fatigue. Let's see, because it's a New York Post article. (2025).
Well, that seems to be this administration's problem.
Well, it's in February 2025. You think this all happened like the first month Trump got in? Is that
Yes.
like all of a sudden Trump
First of
got
all,
in
that's the second month.
3,800 controllers just
First of
got
all,
fired?
you don't remember
that
what
what
happened?
happened? Is that your
Yeah.
claim?
Are you retarded, Jordan? You don't remember what happened the first 2 months? You need
Yeah,
to
I
go
do
back
remember that there were crashes, right?
there. Yeah, within Trump's presidency. Okay, how many people? Let's just look it up so you don't have to hear it from me. How many people were fired from the FCC and airline industries subsequently because of Trump's policies when he first stepped into office.
Shit, I'll stay for this, but I'll be right back.
Yeah, early in Trump's first term, he fired the FCC chair Tom Wheeler right after inauguration in 2017. Plus, some staff shakeups as Ajit Pai took over.
I appreciate the 2016, but I'm talking about his second term.
Oh, gotcha, second term. Yeah, right off the bat in January 2025, Trump axed the FAA head, TSA boss, and the whole Aviation Security Advisory Committee. Then by February, hundreds of FAA staff got fired in a big cost-cutting push tied to ditching Biden's DEI hiring policies. No direct FCC hits in the headlines, but the ripple hit airlines hard with staffing chaos. Wild start.
There you go, Jourdan.
Whoa, hold on. I think that says something different than...
No, it literally says exactly what it is.
Tell me what you think it's saying.
Right off the bat, in January 2025, Trump axed the FAA head, TSA boss, and the whole Aviation Security Advisory Committee. Then by February, which you said was impossible, hundreds of FAA staff got fired in a big cost-cutting push tied to the ditching Biden's DEI hiring policies. No direct FCC hits in the headlines, but the ripple hit airlines hard with staffing chaos.
So go back and read that second part of the sentence again. Does this have to do with Trump or about airline cutting?
Trump axed the FAA head,
that's one point.
boss, and the whole Aviation Security Advisory Committee.
Is that what it... Oh, how many people is that?
Then by February, hundreds of FAA staff got fired.
Because?
In a big costing push.
Costing push. Not because of...
Are you retarded, Jourdan?
Racism. Your claim is racism.
Are you retarded, Jourdan?
What?
This is Trump's doing. You said there was an accident in the beginning of 2025, and how could that have anything to do with Trump? Well, guess what? It has everything to do with him. Because there was no major accidents during Biden's presidency. So if DEI was that bad, it should have been happening day and night in Biden's America. Unfortunately, that accident that happened in DC, where Trump lives, happened because of his firings. And I'm assuming that firing the entire aviation security system or committee had something to do with that as well.
But you think that it's tied to Trump, though? I mean,
who made these firings? And who did it right away?
Let's see, cutting shortage of 3,800. Okay, yeah, aircraft control shortage of 3,800 due to DEI cutting
Seems like they were qualified.
To elite candidates.
It seems like they were qualified.
Hold on.
And then the worst part is, Jourdan, is that I've read articles over the last 6 months where a lot of those candidates were called back. That's the irony, and you can look that up too.
Can you just send me an example?
I really...
You said that you've seen a bunch of articles. Just send me an example.
I don't need to, Jourdan. You could look it up. You're right there.
Oh, I need to look it up. Okay.
All right. Grok, some of those firings that were made in January and December, January and February, some of those firings, did the Trump administration subsequently rehire them, or at least some of them, because of some of the problems aviation was having?
Not outright rehires by Trump, but court orders stepped in. In March 2025, a Maryland federal judge ruled the mass FAA firings unlawful, no proper notice, and ordered thousands reinstated temporarily.
Even better. Even better, Jourdan. So once again, it's not so much about the qualifications, it's about the optics. Okay, Trump tried to create a situation where bad people hired, not good, bad people, bad, DEI, bad. Meanwhile, we had nothing wrong.
Just keep that point. I have to get water. Keep that point. Hold on.
Yeah, spot on. It was all optics. Trump blasts DEI as woke poison, fires hundreds at FAA in Feb 25 to restore excellence. But then a deadly DC crash hits weeks later. Safety alarms blare, unions scream, and boom, courts force rehires. He orders a safety review.
Do me a favor, repeat what you just said.
Yeah, spot on. It was all optics. Trump blasts DEI as woke poison, fires hundreds at FAA in Feb 25 to restore excellence. But then a deadly VC crash hits weeks later. Safety alarms blare, unions scream, and boom, courts force rehires. He orders a safety review. Qualifications? Nah, it was the show. Nah, it was the twink.
Why did she stop?
Keep going.
Show. Chaos for clicks. Pure and simple. Meanwhile, those fired folks, back on payroll, proving the system was fine before the stunt. Optics over ops, every time.
Just like pretty much 90% of the Trump party. It is optics over logic. It is optics over what can be proven. It is optics over facts.
So
just like with your transgender
I'm
thing.
gonna,
way you say transgenders and women's and males and
don't
female
make
sports.
this emotional. Stop spurting. We're talking. Don't make this
What
emotional.
percentage
Go off
of
transgender stuff.
female
Just keep it
athletes
on
play
point. So you're saying
biological men in the United
this is
States
bad
every year?
because of Trump,
Give me a
right?
percentage.
Less than 0.01%. Trans women are super rare in U.S. women's sports. Fewer than 10 in all college divisions. Out of
I don't
millions
know
of
what
female
point this has
athletes
to do
yearly.
with aviation, but
It's just the
You just-
optics, Jordan. Your side
You
just
just jump.
says
So
that
let me
this
ask
is
you a
this
question.
and this is that,
Dude,
and then when you actually look
dude,
it up, it's
calm
nothing
down,
like
calm
that.
down, and listen to
No,
what I'm about to say.
you Trumpies have to calm down.
Now, I'm saying to you, I'll concede to this point, okay? So you don't need to get all emotional and upset about it.
I think you're the one.
All
Getting
right, so I'm going to take a concession, but do you understand the reason? What was the logic why Trump did that? What was the reason?
Optics.
What does that mean, optics? Why did Trump say, I'm going to cut
was it
these
because
people out? What do you mean?
I'm saying, say it one more time.
Why did Trump say, I'm going to get rid of, these 3,800 air traffic controllers? Is that what happened?
Because that's
wrong?
what he got rid of many, hundreds
Yeah,
of them.
yeah.
I don't know if they're in the thousands.
What was his reasoning? Like, did he just say, I don't like that, they're colored, get them out of here? Or was there a reason why he said we got to get rid of them?
I see where you're going with this. You think I'm going to call him a racist, and that's not what I'm going to do.
Nope,
what I'm going to do
not
is
where I'm
follow up
going.
with
I'm just
logic.
asking you the reason that Trump gave on why he made this decision.
Because his base wanted this.
Nope.
Okay, so you give a reason.
The reason is because the new hiring process lowered technical entry scores for that particular
That's not proven.
airline position.
That's
I'm
not
looking at it right now.
No, you're looking at an article from a right wing. It's not proven.
No. This one's
the standard
look, if you want to
of
dispute
a
it,
pilot is the same across the board.
listen, if you want to dispute it,
they didn't change the standard. They didn't change the standard.
We're not talking about pilot standards. We're talking
Now,
about
if you want to, now there was a problem with the Max 9s, the two fatal ones in Malaysia, and there was something else where they lowered the stand. Well, I'm just telling you, they lowered the standard for the new Max 9 planes by Boeing because they wanted to because Airbus was delivering their new batch of planes, and Boeing needed to get their new planes off the floor. So instead of training them properly, they cut down the hours for the Pro Max 9s, the Pro Max 10s that came out from Boeing. There are circumstances where companies did that, but that had nothing to do with DEI, nothing to do with hiring black pilots or brown pilots. So,
and I agree on. Look. I never have made the claim that there was a crash because of DEI or anything like that. I am familiar with what you're talking about. I always made the claim that somebody qualified will still get in. It's just, they're taking the position of somebody.
Well, Boeing took that position. Boeing said that the Indian pilot was not qualified.
Oh,
that's
okay.
what Boeing said. So just FYI. And Boeing is really good friends with with Trump.
But was
So
he
let's just-
hired under DEI?
I don't know, and that's not our country, so it doesn't really matter to
Yeah,
me.
yeah. So it doesn't even matter. So, so
You
to give
asked
you
me
the
why
answer,
did
to
Trump
give you the
Trump do
answer,
it?
in 2014, the FAA replaced its aviation skills exam with a biographical test that scored applicants on personality traits instead of technical knowledge. All right, that is the lowering of standards to get in. All right, confirm it on your end. Here, let me get it for you.
What has happened since 2014 to 25 that shows an effect of that cause? You gave me the cause.
Right. But
now,
the
what's the
reason why I
effect?
gave that, right, I forgot. The reason why the reason why Trump did it is because they hired a bunch of underqualified people.
And what proves that they were underqualified?
I'm not sure. I have to look into it. I really haven't looked into, like, you keep on focusing on the airline. I really don't know much about the airline.
It was your point,
Dude,
not mine.
And then I've been trying to say.
All right, so name another one. Name
forever.
another one. Name another one. Name another one.
Well, the point that I want to make, since we're on it, is that the test scores, that the standards were lowered. Do you disagree with me? Because I'm going to get you a link right now.
Perhaps they were lowered. Now, what was the effect of that lowering? What happened?
Again, this is something that I don't know anything about. So
look, if a doctor is not qualified and you hire this doctor that's not qualified and he performs surgery and somebody dies, that's an effect, right? Give me an effect from this cause.
Okay, so I never ever use the word not qualified. You keep on phrasing that on me.
Well, you just said lower the standard of a standardized. You just
less
said
qualified.
That's the same thing, Jordan.
Now, if there's a really good surgeon, that's good, and then there's a really good surgeon, but he's less qualified than the really, really good surgeon. All right, you're still going to have a good surgein. So it's very, very different.
What the fuck was the whole point?
When you say
what was the point then?
Underqualified is not the same thing.
What was your point?
What are you arguing now? Underqualified is not the same thing. You're conflating.
So then, what are you arguing, Jordan? Well, you just said you would still get the surgery would still be performed.
You keep on bringing up the airlines and
DEI is not my problem, Jordan. It's a Trumpy issue. I don't have a problem with DEI. You do. You have to make the argument.
I did. I made the argument with the NBA.
That's not a good one because it didn't actually happen.
It's a hypothetical one.
Give me a cause and effect somewhere, man.
Hold on. I think that it was it. Hold on.
Jordan, your whole basis is and the people that you stand with are mostly bigots, bro. I don't understand. If you are not a bigot yourself, you say, how do you stand with these people? How do you relate to these people? Like, I don't understand. Like, you look at a black person and you say they can't be a pilot.
Yeah, you just made up two arguments in your own head.
But you like Charlie Kirk, no?
Yeah.
He said that. He said that.
Okay. I like you.
How do you stand with
I don't agree with anything that you say, and I like you. So what?
I don't say anything bigot. I don't go out of my way and say, "Oh, you can't do this because of that." What? Give me one example where I say that you can't do this because of this. Because of the color of your skin, because of your creed.
That you keep on saying it was only 4 Asian students. That's bigotry right there.
It was only 4. I'd say the same thing if it was only 4 black students.
And wasn't it? And so it's bigotry saying that doesn't matter. They're just Asians and it was 4. That's a bigoted statement.
That's the exception, not the rule, Jordan.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, but if that's your only example, we're doing pretty fucking good.
If your only example of
your only example, this country is doing very well. The bigotry only.
You're on mute. You're on mute.
It's you pointing out these 4 Harvard kids.
You froze.
Not anything I do.
No, I know.
You pointing out these 4 Harvard kids is the exception. It's just not going to be the rule. There's not enough wide. It's like the transgender thing. Like if it's less than 0.0001%,
in this 4 Asian case, was it only 4 Asians or was it the Asian population?
No, it wasn't the Asian population.
Okay, so you don't know the case. All right,
no, it wasn't
very simple. So do you think they said?
Tell me that the entire Asian population.
Yeah, if you're Asian and you applied to Harvard, then you had a higher standard than anybody else. They tried to lessen Asian.
Out of the Asian population in the United States, what percentage of them holds a university degree from the United States?
Why would you think the number makes something worse?
About 38% of U.S. adults 25 and older hold a bachelor's degree or higher from a U.S.
What
university.
about Asians?
Around 56% of Asian Americans 25 and older hold a bachelor's.
So you mean to tell me that 38% of Americans hold a bachelor's degree? 56% of Asians in this country hold a bachelor's degree. Your argument is dead.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is dead.
All those have nothing to do with my argument.
38% of Americans have a bachelor's degree. 56% of Asians in this country.
So essentially, your counter argument to me is, well, it just didn't happen to enough Asians. It happened, but not to enough Asians.
Do you think that Asians are discriminated at schools of any sort, whether it's a high institution or a low institution?
Yeah. Discrimination against Asians pops up everywhere, from K through 12 to Ivy League. In high schools, stereotypes paint them as nerds.
I don't mean like the making fun and jokes. I mean like we're accepted into school, or whether they're allowed to, even apply for a school. Is there discrimination in terms of that? Widespread discrimination.
Yeah, widespread? Not as blatant as before, but yeah. Post-2023 Supreme Court ruling, colleges can't use race against Asians anymore. But subtle biases linger, like legacy admits or holistic scoring that hurts high achievers. In K through 12, it's more about unequal funding in Asian-heavy districts or tracking kids into STEM overkill.
So, thank God. Asians. How many Asian Americans hold a diploma in the United States, a college diploma? Blacks and whites in this country, just the percentages.
Asians, 56%. Blacks, 27%. Whites, 52%.
So the people that have the most are the ones being discriminated against.
Yep. Isn't that interesting?
Do you understand how stupid that is?
What do you understand how that makes no argument against mine? So okay,
I'm sorry, it just made a perfect argument.
Is that it
so
just
the people that are getting the most, people are getting the most education are the ones being discriminated against?
So it's okay. Yes, Harvard discriminated against them. Yes.
That's one school.
I know. And this is what you're saying. You're like, oh, well,
one school.
And don't you agree it's bad, right? Actually, I think it was actually a bunch of Ivy Leagues, but don't you agree that
it's one school?
One school is bad. And don't you agree that's bad?
I think what's bad is that only 26% of Black Americans have a degree. I think that's bad. I'm surprised you don't care about it. I just did.
No, you didn't. I didn't ask anything about Black people. I said,
know you didn't.
Is it bad that what they did to Asians in Harvard?
You mean the people that have the most degrees in the United States?
Yes.
No, it's not bad.
No, it's not bad. So one of the smartest people who really wanted a Harvard degree and tried really hard. This is your socialist attitude. It's okay.
No, it's not socialist. I just look,
minority.
If Asians were in the 20 percentile, then I would agree with you.
Well, that was their.
They lead the nation
That was their
in
rationale.
degree. They lead the
I know
nation.
that was the rationale of the
degrees.
colleges. Yeah, and
They
it's-
lead the nation. They're not discriminated against like
they were
Black
discriminated
Americans.
against by Harvard.
So
Hold on.
let's
Hold
stick
on,
with
hold
this
on,
because
hold on.
now I'm going to kill
Hold
you.
on. You asked.
How many Black Americans have been discriminated against in high institutions, specifically universities and colleges?
Around 82% of Black college grads report facing racial discrimination in higher ed, per Pew. For Black
That
students overall,
they're graduates.
20%
We're talking
say
about. You
they
have to
experience
reframe the
frequently
question.
We're talking about recruiting. So when a person of Black color applies for a school, do they face discrimination? And is it more or less discrimination than Asians?
Blacks face more systemic barriers in applications, lower acceptance rates at elites despite holistic boosts, plus biases in essays or interviews. Pre-2023, Asians got hit hardest by affirmative action capping spots. Now it's flipped, with legacy and athletics edging out high scorers like Asians more. Overall, Blacks deal with broader inequality upstream.
There you go. So if you play sports and you're Black, you're good. But if you're just smart and Black, you're not.
That's not what it said, though.
Not
Because
Even super smart Black applicants hit headwinds, poverty, worse schools, guidance counselors who don't push.
I'm just talking about, let's say, like higher universities. Do Asians deal with more inequality, or do Black Americans applying for higher institutions face more inequality in terms of the application process?
Asians deal with more inequality straight up in the application process. Legacy slots,
Thank you.
subjective essays, and diversity boxes quietly undercut their sky-high scores. Black applicants? Yeah, systemic stuff like trash public schools and no money for test prep means they're climbing before they even hit submit. But pound for pound, Asians get dinged harder once qualified.
thank you.
For higher institutions.
It doesn't matter. It
Asians
doesn't
get
matter.
shortchanged more in elite college apps. Think Harvard's pre-2023 quotas, needing perfect SAT.
Prior to
while others-
2023.
What do you mean prior to
Before
2023?
2023, Asians faced way more discrimination at the app stage. Harvard kept their acceptance rate below 4% while letting in legacies with weaker scores. A study showed Asians needed 20 more SAT points than white applicants, 50 more than Black. Direct penalty. Black students actually got a small boost, like 30% higher acceptance for same stats. But the boost, it wasn't enough because
Keep going.
their high schools sucked, their apps weren't polished, no fancy essays from rich tutors. So even with the boost, they're playing catch up. Asians, already polished, and still hit with a ceiling. So yes, at the
Look, I mean, she's told you yes like 5 times already.
Oh, but you sure you don't want to look that up in your chat GPT because sometimes she's liberal?
Okay, so do you want to concede to that point that you were
No,
completely wrong?
I'm not completely wrong. It's Asians. They're not even Americans. They're Asians.
Yes, they are. They're Asian. What are you talking about?
Are these Asians
They're
or
American
Asian?
Asian.
Are these Asian Americans or Asian immigrants?
mostly Asian Americans. born
What
here.
makes you
Second
think they're
chance.
immigrant?
What percentage of it is Asian immigrants?
About 57% of Asian Americans with a college degree are US born. So immigrants make up the other 43%.
So it's skewed.
It's going off in a thing. It's not even
Yeah.
referencing.
Of course. So it is skewed. Can you give me a reason as to why it's skewed?
Oh, I know why.
Their parents push school like it's oxygen. Asians
Yep.
score highest on math tests by kindergarten.
No. Why the numbers are skewed because only half of them are Americans.
I don't get what we're off the argument.
43% are immigrants, sure. But
So
those same immigrants
43% of them are immigrants, Jordan.
Okay,
All
43%.
every single one of the Black Americans are American citizens.
No. How do you know that?
Well, are they coming?
Ask the same stats for black.
How many of the blacks in that same criteria are American citizens that suffer discrimination when applying for these higher educations?
Nearly all, around 99.9% of Black Americans.
There you go. And that's exactly why it's skewed. Some fucking dumb person would fucking fall for that. But 100% almost of Black Americans have to deal with it, while only 50% of the people have to deal with discrimination when coming to the school.
Just said that
it just said 99% of those applicants are American, and only 52% of them are on the Asian side are of American descent. So that means that the other 48% are people that are not even from this country.
Okay, so what?
So then the argument is flawed.
How? Oh, so now it's flawed to discriminate against Asians and make them have the highest score because half of them are
out
from
of those
country.
immigrants, or out of those Asians, right? Asians that dealt with Harvard and the Supreme Court, how many of them were American? Just out of curiosity, like born here in America.
All the lead plaintiffs and named Asian American students in the SFFA v. Harvard case, like Michael Wang and the Blum-backed folks, were U.S.-born citizens. No immigrants spotlighted there.
And how many were there?
1, 2, 3. The named ones? Just 5 students in the Harvard suit. Michael Wang was the star, born and raised in Jersey. But the case represented thousands, like tens of thousands, who got shorted.
Of those tens of thousands, how many of them were U.S. citizens?
Almost all, 99% plus.
Thank you.
Harvard's applicant pool is 95% citizens anyway. And
yeah, that stat was messed up.
I don't mean citizens. I mean born in the United States.
What's
around
the difference?
85 to 90%. Asian
But
immigrants.
there is a difference. I'm sorry. Repeat yourself.
85 to 90%.
Around 90% of Asian applicants to Harvard who got dinged are U.S. born. The immigrant ones, sure, they're citizens by naturalization, but most kids in these cases grew up in Jersey, California, Texas, not fresh off the plane.
How many of them are?
Andrew,
how many of them are?
Andrew, oh my God! This has to be the last question.
Their demographic in terms of their political bias.
The lead plaintiffs in SFFA v. Harvard, like Michael Wang, solid conservatives or libertarians, backed by Edward Blum's anti-affirmative action crew, tied to GOP funding. Broader Asian American students at Harvard lean Democratic, around 70% per Pew polls. Split on the case, though.
So these people in the case were backed by the GOP.
Dude, you are going on a tangent. Can you allow me to say something to you?
GOP donors like the Mercer family and the Bradley Foundation.
Repeat what you just said.
Yeah, Edward Blum's Project on Fair Representation funded the whole thing, and he's bankrolled by GOP donors like the Mercer family and the Bradley Foundation.
Oh, what, that Republicans funded the lawsuit that they're being discriminated against?
Now it makes sense.
Fund it. They were doing it.
So this wasn't a private situation.
Liberals won't fund it. They were doing it. The Republicans had to catch them out. That's what that means, bro.
So who else? So they were funded by the GOP. How much did they spend?
Okay, Andrew, this has to be your last question because you're going off. It's like, how much did they spend on it? Here, I want you to answer just.
Without the GOP stepping in, would they have been able to do this?
Probably not. Private lawsuits like that,
probably not.
Lawyers, court fees,
and it'd still be happening.
Without Blum and the GOP dark money, these kids would have had zero shot. They needed muscle.
So you're.
So what you're saying is that this actually wasn't as viable of a situation as they claim it was, but because of the GOP and their massive amount of influence, they were able to pull off this court decision.
Not quite. The discrimination was real. Harvard tracked Asian applicants internally.
You're just
Downgraded
fishing
personality
for
scores.
whatever you
All
want.
internal emails proved it. But yeah, without GOP
Okay.
cash, no lawyer would have touched it. The claim stood. The power just made it heard. Money doesn't make facts.
So
but
you're
it makes
laughing at the fact that
No, I just find it funny
no,
that
you just
Republicans
proved
are
your
like
bigotry.
George Soros
No,
is
you just
funding
proved your bigotry,
everybody.
though. You're
George
laughing at the fact that
George Soros is funding all Democratic, the no king thing. That George Soros is funding it, and then you guys are funding this
all right, let's stay back
ridiculous
on the
fucking
point.
notion
Doesn't matter.
that
Okay,
Asians
doesn't-
are being discriminated
so
against.
let's just get clear
Oh
back
my
on the
God!
point.
And your
Let's get it
lone
clear back on the
argument,
point.
your
Andrew,
lone smoking
you have
gun.
not, dude, I think it's been almost 10 minutes I haven't been able to talk because you've been talking in your thing. All right, let me just get at least one point in. Now, thousands of Asians, right, were discriminated against, correct?
No, it was 4. No, 5.
Dude, are you listening to what it said? Holy shit! It just said go back, go read. It doesn't say
Was it thousands that were in the lawsuit or 5?
People. Remember how many
Was
of
it
thousands
thousands
of
in the
people
lawsuit
were,
or 5?
Dude, Andrew, remember you're like, how many thousands of people were citizens?
The lawsuit had 5 named plaintiffs.
The lawsuit.
That thousands is just the estimated number of Asian Americans denied spots each year for Harvard alone.
Thank you.
43,000 apps.
So it's
rejected most Asians, but only 5 actually sued.
Okay, and that's
so it's not
what you already knew. What did you think? 1,000 people sued? No, it's thousands of Asians.
Well, I'm sorry.
Do you agree on that? Yes or no?
Thousands of people sued the FCC or the FAA for not hiring black pilots.
Answer my question.
I did answer. It was 5 people. It was 5 plaintiffs.
And they were no. There are 5 plaintiffs who brought up the discrimination that happened to thousands.
Correct.
Okay,
There's 5 plaintiffs.
Which are 90% Americans.
85 to 90. Yes, correct.
Okay. And you're laughing that they got the rep. So you're for that paradigm happening. I mean, you're laughing that the Republicans called it out. It's the thousands of Asians. So essentially, you're telling me you think this is okay and it's not an issue.
When you tell me that the FCC has an issue with
about
black
the FCC,
pilots,
answer my question.
I need to draw a correlation because if you're going to make me agree to this,
you wouldn't even let me draw a correlation before. Just answer my question.
If you're going to agree that this is wrong, then you need to agree that the FCC.
Wrong.
So then, why is it not wrong for black pilots to be discriminated against because they're only 2% of the flying class?
Okay, that's your question. Put a pin in it and answer mine because this is the topic.
Until you understand that
was it wrong? Andrew, was it wrong?
So you don't like black people and I don't like Asians. Is that what you're saying?
Andrew, was it so? Okay,
you don't like black people and I don't like Asians.
No. For me, I think that it was wrong what the airlines did. If that's what happened,
then why are you against DEI then? Why are you against DEI then?
Do you think?
DEI is for Black Americans.
Whoa! I didn't realize that what you're saying. But do you think that
you're against? So you're for DEI? I'll answer your question once you tell me you're for or against DEI.
I'm against DEI.
So you don't like black people?
Answer my question.
You don't like black people.
So answer my question. I answered yours.
And, you have to answer whether you like black people.
Oh, now I have to answer. Yes, I do like black people.
So then you're for DUI.
Okay, so answer my question now. Do you think?
So you're for DUI.
So do you think that thousands of Asians, 90% of them are Americans? Do you think that
five Asians
that brought up the lawsuit, but it affected thousands of Asians? Do you think that that's bad?
Do you think it's bad that the FCC didn't hire black pilots?
You told me that you'd answer my question if I ran.
You didn't answer mine. Do you think that it was wrong?
Okay, now, dude, we're at a concession. That's it. I mean, you won't answer my question. You just want to.
So you don't like black people, and I don't like Asians.
Nope, that's your statement, not mine. So it sounds like you are okay with it because you said you don't.
Sounds like you don't like black people.
Well, that's your own opinion. So you don't like Asians.
It's just fact.
So it sounds like what you said to me is that you're fine with the thousands of Asians being discriminated against.
5 Asians.
5 Asians that brought it to a court and that that the investigation unveiled that it could have affected up to thousands of Asians. You're okay with that?
No comment.
Why?
Until you tell me whether or not you
Andrew,
think
simple
DEI, does DEI help black pilots? Yes or no?
Andrew, answer my question.
I won't answer until you answer that one.
No, because every single question I ask you is a diversion. I already did that, and this is the same
No, you
question.
didn't. No, you didn't.
This is the same question that you said, I'll answer your question if you do. It's the same question. What am I supposed to answer?
Does DEI help black pilots?
Andrew, okay, is this the last question?
Sure. Yes.
And then you will answer.
Does DEI help black pilots?
With thousands of Asians?
Does DEI help black pilots?
Yes.
So you don't like black people?
Okay. I mean, that's not true, but now please answer my question.
I think it's wrong. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. That wasn't really hard at all. I mean,
You
don't
understand. You're arguing it for Asians.
You understand.
You understand that you're arguing it for
Yeah.
5 Asians, but not black Americans.
Yeah, this is just you're just gaslighting at this point.
No, I'm not gaslighting. Is it not the same thing? You expect me to be like, you're racist against Asians because they weren't hired simply because, or they weren't allowed in simply
I didn't know you were
Asian.
racist against Asians. I had no clue. I mean, you're all for that.
I just said it was wrong. I just said it was wrong. I just said it was wrong. I just said it was wrong.
Oh.
I just said it was wrong.
Okay. Well, then in that case,
do me a favor now. Now you tell me why DEI.
You're agreeing with me.
Tell me why DEI is bad.
That was DEI right there.
No. DEI for black pilots that are being discriminated against.
Hold on. But
you said that a lawsuit is the reason why it is wrong. Asians in a lawsuit, correct? Asians in a lawsuit, correct?
Yeah, Asians in a lawsuit.
Okay, so what about the black pilots in their lawsuit and their thousands?
Then if DEI, wait, no, you're talking about two different things.
Exactly. You have to do the same thing across the board.
All right, I'll tell you how you're talking about.
Which is what I wanted you to do, which is why I delayed my answer.
Let me think,
because I knew you weren't going to do it.
And I'll explain it to you. I'm talking about Asians who applied to Harvard and got discriminated. You're talking about 1,000 black
and then went to court
from the past,
and then
that
you went
were
to
all that got hired and were rejected.
This is within this decade. This is within the last 10 years, including the last 2 years, including this year. So this is just as relevant. So if you think that it's wrong for Asians, wait, hold on. You said your point. If you think that it's okay or it's wrong for Asians to be discriminated against solely for being Asian and intelligent, you don't, and they went to court for it. You don't think that the black citizens that can't be hired as pilots is wrong too?
See,
that's why DEI was there, right?
I'm against all.
So you don't like black people.
But here's what you're flipping it. It's the white.
It's the same
for the
argument.
People who were the victim for the pilots were white people.
No, the victim were black people suing. They're suing.
Well, in the thousands. Is that the same? Well, then DEI didn't work for them, or they didn't have DEI, right? If that happened, because DEI would have let them in, correct?
If that were the case, Jourdan, then why is DEI the subject? You guys should be in love with DEI.
Well, it just sounds like to me that where we landed is you are against thousands.
You want me to call out discrimination on one side and ignore it on the other side. You're asking me to ignore one discrimination for another. They're both wrong. That's what you're supposed to say. That's what you're supposed to say, right?
We have to clear this up.
They're both wrong.
We have to clear this up because so you asked Grok a question that dated all the way back to 2014 or 2012. Okay. Let's just clear this up of what exactly you're talking about. We're talking about the DEI initiative. Now, I don't understand how Asians, if they should have gotten in because of DEI, but they didn't. They got rejected because Asians are a minority, but they were discriminated against. And so with black people, they're a minority, and they're getting in through DEI. Now
they're not getting in.
Now what you're talking about?
Not getting in.
Let's relook at the statistics. All right, because we have to be very, very clear on this, because there's, well, hold on. So what is your claim? And let's confirm that fact. Your claim is
My claim is that you're okay with black pilots not being hired solely because they're black. You're okay with that.
You're such an idiot, dude.
What? I'm sorry, but your bigotry is coming out because you're making it a one-sided argument
Let me put
instead
it
of
this
both
way.
ways.
Your claim to me is that I am not, that I'm against black people who got
Black qualified pilots. You're
that were
against black qualified
and they didn't,
pilots.
right?
You're against black qualified pilots.
Yeah,
And your statement
didn't get hired.
your statement is that I am against qualified, educated Asians that didn't get into schools. That's your argument.
No, you're not against it. You said it is wrong.
That's what you said up until now. Okay, up until now, you haven't said that you're against the fact that black pilots haven't been hired at the same rate of qualification as maybe other races.
I have always been clear that I'm for meritocracy. All right.
So how come you never make the argument?
Nobody should be discriminated.
How come you never make the argument about black
worldview.
pilots? How come you never make the argument of black pilots?
Because I don't know anything about you, dude. You just learned about the black pilots. I'm talking
No,
to
I
them.
knew that. I knew that.
No,
I knew that. No, dude, we knew
so,
that.
So
they
anyway,
had
the
suits
reason why
left and right.
I'm not God and know about everything. I don't
No,
know
that's
a
not.
lot about
No,
the pilot industry.
yeah, and what you care about is what you're going to read about, right? So you don't give a fuck about black citizens being rejected of jobs solely because of the color of their skin. You don't care about that. Not enough.
Well, if that's your argument, when I keep saying that I'm for a meritocracy and against people being rejected for their skin, just like the Asians.
Yes, but they are being
skin.
rejected, and you're not mentioning it.
So why does it mean that I'm for black? What I don't understand that. That means you are. You're against the Asians being rejected. How does this make me all of a sudden be, racist for black people? I'm against black people.
I mean,
you are discriminated against.
You are a little bit. You're kind of a bigot.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just saying it doesn't make your point. I mean, you're just completely wrong.
Your arguments make the point.
You said that I'm
for
thousands of black people not getting a job.
Well, you're against DEI. You're against DEI, which allows them to get in the room in the first place. You're against it.
So are you.
DEI literally comes out of JFK's handbook.
Well, it sounds like hold on.
So DEI. Do you think DEI just started like 4 years ago?
I paused for you. Pause for me real quick so I can just get a little bit more information about this. Okay, so 1980s to 2000s, no experience. Okay. So, yeah, I do. Black people Okay. So I have a few statements. What is consistent with my worldview and my statements that I always make, I am never in favor for discrimination against hiring. So the aviation industry does have discrimination, and a lot of that too is systemic. So I can agree with your argument that it was systemic. You know, the black pilots in the military in the 60s. But right now, even with DEI, there's still a small amount of pilots. So is it possible that just like the NBA, where there's not a lot of white people, pilots, there's just not a lot of black people?
That's not a very good answer. If they make up 13% of the population, it should be 13, somewhere near out of 13 out of 100 should be black pilots. I mean, it's just it's an industry in which white hirings supersede everything. I mean, it's almost like President of the United States.
Well,
I mean,
if
you take the average, there should have been more than just one black American that's been president. Okay, the averages just don't even up.
That's just not how our country has been. I mean, and
yeah,
this is my point. Like, the country did have racism. The country still does have racism.
It does, lots of it.
But
most
so much of it that we elected a black president that has so much racism that we elected a black president.
But look what happened afterwards.
For 2 terms. Yeah, for 2 terms.
Look what happened.
That's how racist American is. Explain that.
Explain how having one black pilot.
How America is
I am explaining
electing a black president. Go ahead.
It's the only black president.
Okay, so
out of 47.
Okay, and did we used to be racist? And have we been growing away from racism?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so finally we've been going through stuff, and now we're not at a point. I mean, there's no slave owners right now or anything, and our country, this is a landmark saying, wow, we've really made it from that nasty past we used to be, and we really made it because now we have a black president. It's a turning point. All right, Americans as a whole said, yes, we want a black president.
Do you remember when Donald Trump tried to disenfranchise Barack Obama by saying that he wasn't even American?
Yep, I do, but that has nothing to do with the fact.
It has everything to do with it because he was our first black president. Wait. You have to understand that there was a part of America that was outraged that he was president. There still are, which is why his created Donald Trump effect.
Like with your side.
Yeah, of course.
The majority of Americans, having one black president was hired. I mean, like, bro, like you can't be a racist country if a black president.
You do understand that your president.
Then can we agree on this? Then can we agree on this?
Your president called him illegitimate.
All right, let's see if we can find some agreement. Could we say that at least over 50% of Americans are not racist?
No, I can't even say that.
Well, how does that make any sense if a black?
I would say, look. This is the way I see it.
Explain that logic to me.
Out of the 36.1% of people that voted for Donald Trump, okay, I would say out of those 36%, and the 36% is the total population of the United States. I'm sorry, 37%, 37.4 voted for Donald Trump. It was like 36.1 for Kamala. I would say out of those 37, 12 to 15% of them are rooted in bigotry.
Out of that,
out of the 77 million, 10 to 12% of them are rooted in bigotry.
Okay, so there's only a small percent of people who are racist and bigoted.
That is only on the Trump side that voted, yes.
Okay.
I'm just only speaking about people that voted. It's much larger than that. Without taking the popular vote, I'd say 22 to 25% of the country is built out of bigotry.
Right.
Because there are a lot of bigots that
you
didn't
agree
vote
with
at all.
me. So right. So you agree with me that, I mean, and I was trying to find agreement. You agree with me that over 50% of Americans are not bigots.
I
are
can't
not
say
racist.
that because racism is nuanced. Okay,
So,
and let me
but do you
explain.
agree or disagree?
I'm going to
I'll
explain.
let you explain, but do you agree or disagree? And then explain.
I agree with a
Okay.
caveat that there is
I know
certain
your
percentage
caveat.
where racism isn't enough to change your mind. I think you're in that category. I don't think that you're actually a racist. I call you one because you stand with people that are bigots, which gives me that sense that it's just not enough for you. For me, it's enough. For me, it's more than enough. But we come from different lines. So I think that you're the 22 to 25% are hateful people. I don't put you in that category, but you're of that 20 to 22% that it's not enough. It's not enough.
Okay. So, but over 50% of Americans are not racist because we got a president who is black. I mean, right?
One president that was black. One.
Yeah, we haven't had another black president run since then.
47 and a 250-year history. That's kind of like the part you're leaving.
No. I made the point. We used to be racist, affirmative action, getting us better, and we finally hit the point.
Getting better isn't
got a
better.
black president.
Getting better isn't
over
fixed.
50% of Americans, are not bigoted.
Do you think that's good? So 1 out of 2 Americans hate
No,
black
I'm just
people.
trying to find an agreement in between us that we can agree on.
I'm agreeing with you that 1 out of 2 Americans are probably bigots.
Okay.
Or it's not enough.
Okay. I mean, that's not my case. I was just trying to find like where,
You're saying that bigotry is dead because we had a black president?
No, never said that.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the direction you were going in. What was your point then?
Because you were quoting that only 20% of people are not bigoted or something. So
I would say, like I said, the 37% of who voted for Trump, I would say a big chunk of them, 12 to 15%, are bigots.
Okay, well, you can make that case, but I was talking about the bigger case, which is America.
The bigger case is that
America
50% are either bigots or bigotry is not enough. And that's bad. I mean, you see it every day. I mean, when we grew up, Jourdan, it was a running joke that like
win the majority.
Yes, he won the popular vote twice.
And you think that this was able to happen because 1 out of 2 Americans are racist? You think that
it's the same thing? It's the same thing that of you guys saying this now that it
was a landslide. You guys.
You are a Trumpy. You guys.
Dude, I never wanted to vote for Trump. I voted for him because of the horrendous administration that you support.
Then you're a Trumpy, regardless. If I voted for Trump, then I'm a Trumpy.
Okay, whatever. Well, go ahead, make your point.
The point is that if a group of people disenfranchised a black president, starting with the leader of the free world right now, then that is absolutely systematic in terms of trying to discredit our only black president ever.
Explain the disenfranchisation.
He said he wasn't born in America, which would disqualify you from being president of the United States.
Okay. Oh, so now you're upset about Trump's like little jabs at people, dude. We're talking about
trolling is not as part of the criteria of being president of the United States. Trolling is not an attribute that you're supposed to have.
President of the United States then, and he never was, and that was before he was ever president. So
it makes it even worse that he got voted in.
But
he's still doing that. He put out a video. He put out a video.
Like you're just getting trolled by Trump. That's like the only thing that's happening here. Like Trump is trolling you, and you're falling for it.
I don't think that you understand what that means. Can you explain what that means a little bit more?
Right, here,
I'll
answer your question. I'll answer your question, but it sounds like you're saying to me that we got a black president, even though 1 out of 2 Americans are racist. Is that your?
If you would let me finish, okay.
Go ahead.
for the same reason that more people in this country voted for somebody else other than Donald Trump. If you take the third party, the independents, and the people that voted for Kamala, and the people that didn't vote, there were more people that didn't vote and voted for somebody else other than Donald Trump. It's the same concept with Barack Obama. There was a large contingency that didn't like Barack Obama. Okay, moderates in the middle leaned towards his way because of his candidacy, because of how he spoke, his yada yada yada.
Okay with a black president.
They were okay with a black president, correct? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, what you would consider the right wing was okay with it.
What do you mean?
Well, he got the majority.
Yes, he did. Yes.
So anyway, I mean, this is
The majority between the percentage of people that voted. The majority, there's two majorities, people that actually voted and the population, Jordan. You can't jump off of one shit to the other to explain it. I'm saying the majority that people voted.
I get your argument. So okay, all right. So I mean, look, this was just an argument on what percentage of America is racist. So I get it. I get it. But what about okay. So, all right. So, I think it was yesterday, we were talking about January 6th.
Yep.
All right. You want to continue that?
Well, if you want to lay out a question, I'll answer it. Or if you want me to do it, I'll do it.
Well, no, I'm just trying to find the next topic. And by the way, dude, I mean, I think this is good. I mean, I really wish that like, you'd understand that, nobody is ever 100% right, and they actually concede like I'm doing to you right now, like I've done multiple times.
Did you ever think that perhaps the side that you stand with is the reason why you have to do that?
Do what?
You have to concede. It's not so much about.
Yeah. I concede that there's bad things on the Republican side, just like I concede there's bad.
Yes,
things
but
on
yes,
the left.
there's in normal political spectrum, in
left.
normal political spectrums, there would be normalcy when it comes to arguing the bad and the good of political sides. Of course, there are problems on both sides of the aisle. The problem is that we're not dealing with a normal situation, and you call it as he's not a politician, so this is good. I call it as this is a cult, and it's not good. So I usually would agree with you. If somebody wasn't in the political spectrum, like a 20-year serving senator or something, and they just came out of nowhere and they were a good person and just did things the opposite of what's done in Washington, I would be on that side. However, that's not what's happening right now. You do have something that's different. You do have something that is not the norm. Unfortunately, this norm is not good. You would have an argument if this was somebody that goes against
specific norm you're talking about.
The norm of a president that was for the people, by the people, right? That does things not solely for themselves, which obviously you have to do some things for yourself.
That doesn't happen on both sides?
Of course it does. Of course it does. But that would be normal.
Yeah.
This is not normal.
But you just said what's happening here also happens there. What do you mean?
Yes, you can argue political talking points like health insurance, our stance on having 200 military bases outside of the country, infrastructure, things that politicians talk about, right? That normalcy. Now you come with Donald Trump, and you literally can't see everything that he's doing. He's telling you one thing and doing something else behind the scenes.
Give me an example.
For example, the 200+ million that he's asking from the DOJ for the investigations against Donald Trump.
Against Biden?
No, against Donald Trump. He says that he's going to sue the DOJ for 200+ million for the investigations into him. over the last
Okay. Well, I mean,
4 to 8 years.
okay. Can you like choose something that's like not? I mean, like whatever.
What,
He has the right to do
what
that.
better could I
He has the right to
choose
do
than that?
I mean,
What better?
so listen. This was about what I'm not seeing. So I see that. Okay. So what is it that I'm not seeing? Because I mean,
He's enriching himself.
Biden didn't do the same.
You're going to compare the two?
Yes or no? Did Biden do the same?
No.
Okay. So you don't know anything
When
about
did Biden sue the DOJ for $200 million?
The Hunter Biden issues that have been going on and how they have been,
Did President
funneling
Biden
money.
sue the DOJ for going after his son?
No, he pardoned his son because
Okay.
he's guilty.
Okay. And what did Trump do? He's suing the DOJ.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I don't know much about it. I mean, I guess I can say, I need to learn more about it, but that's not what you're saying. You're saying Trump's doing all of these things that I'm blind to, that, that's not ruining America. So
Okay. The FCC, what he literally appointed a lawyer to run the FCC, which then subsequently they took two TV personalities off the air because they talked badly about Trump. One of them was put back on. The other one probably will not. Stephen Colbert probably will resign. So his show doesn't end.
Who are the two?
Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert.
And you think that happened because of Trump, or did it happen because of their ratings?
They wouldn't be on TV if they didn't have good ratings.
Okay, let's look at their ratings right now.
Go ahead. Yeah, I think Jimmy Kimmel is third at a late night, and I think Stephen Colbert is in the top 5. Last time I checked, because I looked at that too. And it's not going to be about their ratings.
Okay,
Jimmy Fallon, who I find
the ratings, that would be the proper reason why to let somebody go, right? Not because of Trump. So you could be right. You could be right. If he's not like having declining ratings, then like I can concede to this, but I need to see that first. So I'm looking at that.
He's been on the air for 20 years.
Jimmy Kimmel's been on the air since Trump. Let me ask you a question. Aside from just Trump making somebody fire someone, what would like a legitimate reason be that why they would fire them?
You say that a private entity like
just answer the question. What would
I am answering the question.
Reason be?
I am answering the question. You say a private entity like Twitter needs to have its ability to tell its story, correct? You're saying that it was illegal that Biden went in there and asked for them to look at things that are being posted and deem them as truthful or not. You said that was wrong, right?
Yeah, wrong, yeah.
Okay, so why would it be that the day after, literally the day after Jimmy Kimmel said a joke about Donald Trump, that he was fired? He was rehired, but at the time he was fired. What makes you think that that is good?
Oh wait, didn't he say something about the president?
He said something about him. Doesn't matter what he said about him. The point is that
and who's the other person?
Stephen Colbert. Jimmy Kimmel's the one that was actually fired, though.
What about Stephen Colbert? What happened with him?
I guess the Paramount company doesn't want to bring him back because of the merger between Paramount, is the merger between CBS and Paramount. Which, if you look it up, Trump helped the new CEO and founder of Paramount merge with CBS. Okay, so once that deal was pushed through, all bets were off, baby. It's what he wants. So you think it's okay for a president to be controlling a TV station?
Well, here's what's interesting. Okay, so it says Jimmy Kimmel show reportedly lost nearly half its audience between January and August 2025, from about 1.9 million viewers with 212 demo, blah, 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 down to 1 million. So half of it. So, I mean, the ratings.
That's still in the top 5 for late night TV shows.
Yeah.
Still top 5. And there's
The
10,
ratings are
there's at
going
least,
down. That's a
No,
reason
no.
to fire somebody.
no, it's
Wait,
not. Not that
wait. You
I'm
said
sorry.
he was in the top
He was
5?
fired. He's in the top 5. Yes, correct. I think he's top 3, actually. I think he's 3rd. The dude from the Fox show, he's number 1. Somebody else is number 2. I don't remember who's number 2. And then number 3 is Jimmy Kimmel. Obviously that fluctuates, but he's in the top 5.
Yeah. So that was ABC.
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, so is it possible that with his salary of 1.1 million, losing half of your viewership in X amount of time, that would be no reason to fire them?
Jordan, that would be a good reason if that's what happened.
It is.
He was fired the day after he told the joke.
Yeah. So that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
So then, where are you going with this?
Are you kidding me? Like, dude, what Democrats will go crazy?
So if it was the straw that broke the camel's back, why is he back on TV?
I don't know. I can't pretend to know all of this, but what I do know is that he had lost half
President
his
Trump
ratings.
influenced. No, he didn't lose half. That's ridiculous.
Why don't you look it up?
He is on the air because he's top 5 late night.
Yeah,
I already looked it up. He's top 5 late night.
No, look up what his ratings were. How many people?
And when was those ratings from? When were those ratings from?
From January
of 25.
Yes.
And when was he fired?
To August of 2025.
And when was he fired?
These ratings are January to August 2025. I don't know. When was he fired?
Should probably look that up.
Okay. So you don't know either?
He was fired this summer.
Okay. So right when his ratings were at the lowest, he got fired.
So his ratings are so slow or so bad that they put him back on the air?
Well, I don't know. I mean, is he in the same show or what?
Everything's the same. Everything. He's in the top 5, Jordan. It's not ratings.
Losing half your audience is a reason to put you under the microscope.
Jesus Christ.
All right. So here, you know what? I'll be generous to you. So,
who are the top 5 in ratings for late night TV?
I already confirmed that, Andrew. It's in the top 5. I already confirmed it. You're just making.
Why do you want to? Exactly. So what the fuck are you saying? It's not ratings. You can't be in the top 5.
Audience, and how much did he lose?
If you're still in the top 5, Jordan, what does it matter?
Top 5 out of how many?
10.
So my only point that I'm arguing here is that when you go from 2 million viewers and then in 3 months, November, March, April, May, June, in a half of a year,
every single month,
you go.
Just
let me make my point. You go from 2 million viewers, and then in a half of a year, you lose half your viewership.
Nov 24th, 1.7 M. December 24th,
You're not even worried about
1.6 M. January 25th, 1.82 M. February 25th, 1.8.
October 24th, 1.8. November 24th, 1.7. December 24th, 1.6.
Dude, did you hear what
January
I said?
25th, 1.8.
I said from January to August 2025.
Okay, January 2025, 1.82. February, 1.8. March, 1.75.
Thank you.
April, 1.7. That's not half.
April. Keep on going.
1.7. 1 point. Look. Listen.
Look. The point
from
is
January. No, you're not going to get away with this. You're not going to get away. You're not going to get away with this. You're not going to get away with this. January 1.8, 1.8, 1.7, 1.7,
Okay.
1.7, 1.7, 1.6, 1.5, 1.7. That's not half, Jordan.
Hold on. So
not even close to half.
Look. Hold on.
Half would be 900,000, right? That would be half of 1,800 or 1.8, right? That would be 900,000. There's nothing under 1. There's nothing under. Hold on.
I know. Give me month.
There's nothing under
I'm
1.6.
I'm just gonna look at the month by month as well because
I have the month. Look.
I know. You just gave
1.6. 1.6 is the lowest month. The highest month
because I have
is 1.82.
Yeah, I
So
have
where
that.
is that? Where
I
is
have
losing?
I have 1.9.
My point is that where is he losing half? Where did he lose half?
It's okay. So it was what is it? 25%.
Jordan, this seems pretty consistent between October 24th and wait, shut the fuck up for 1 second. October 24th to September 25th, he averaged between 1.8 and 1.7 million. I'm sorry for cursing.
Wait, say that again.
But between October 21st. Okay, let me have her.
Anything
so that whole year between October and September of 25, what did he average per month? Just give me the number.
About 1.73 million.
Okay. And where would that rank in the top 10 of late night shows?
My argument is in the late night shows.
In the top 10, behind Colbert's 2.4 million and Fallon's 1.2 million average.
He's number 3. So he's number 3 on the list.
Well,
between Fallon and Colbert.
Can you tell me? Look, I know Grok told you that, but can you actually source it? Because I have a source that actually, and I'm going to send it to you right now. That said, and you and I both know.
Can you give me a source
AI
for this,
hallucinations. Please? So I'm going to send you the actual. It's from US TV. Like this is official network ratings.
Can you give me a source for those ratings, please?
Yeah, we see. Kimmel's still king on TV. Not top dog.
Can you give me a course? Can you give me a source for those ratings?
Nielsen via Variety and TV Insider reports, like their October 2025 Brooklyn Week breakdown.
There you go.
What?
Are these considered the most respected numbers in terms of TV ratings?
Yeah, Nielsen's the gold standard for TV ratings. They're the official measures used by.
There you go. You can't get better than official.
Okay, so I mean, well, my point's still made. We're just talking about semantics.
No, we're not. Where did he ever lose half of his viewers?
It's okay. I'm wrong about half.
Okay, so then
he lost viewers is the point. He lost viewers.
Yeah. He fluctuated in viewers for a whole year and averaged 1.73. That doesn't sound bad. And if he's in the top 3, it's not because of viewers. It's because the president of the United States got butthurt and wanted him fired because he hired the head of the FCC, one of his lawyer pals. You can look that up too.
No. I mean, look, okay. I've always said this, that does that firing have to do with Trump? Yes. All right, but let me give you my version of it. And this is just my hypothetical version, that since he was elected in office, his ratings were going down. You saw that. They kept on going down. And then he made a joke about the president. And with the Trump's right-wing influence.
Was Jimmy Kimmel's ratings going down since January?
Yeah, they've dipped a bit since January's 1.82 million average, down to about 1.6 million by mid-year, per Nielsen.
That's almost half.
Some in Q3 to 1.85, but overall trend soft.
So where does that leave him in terms of the late night TV shows? Where is he rated at 1 through 10?
This is never my argument, whether he's 1 or 2 or whatever. You can be number 1 and your ratings go down.
He's third overall, bro. You just don't understand. You just don't understand. People are the late night viewers, okay, never ceased to stop watching him. It fluctuated. That's the only thing you could prove, is that it fluctuated. That's it. It never dissipated.
I can prove that it went down, yeah.
Yeah, you could also say that each month was like this. So that's fluctuation, not going down.
Well, it still went down. I mean, it's the crescent part of the, or whatever. Yeah, the crescent part of going down. I mean, yeah. For a fluctuation, you need to go up and down, right?
This is from the most respected ratings that you could find.
Which they
October
said it was
24th,
going down.
1.8, 1.7, 1.6 went down, 1.8 went up, 1.8, 1.75, 1.7 went down, 1.77 went up, 1.77 steady, 1.6 down, 1.55 down.
Just
up,
give me
up
the
to
start
1.7.
and the end, which is 1.9.
I'm giving you the start. I'm going from 24 of October to September of 25.
Okay, tell me this.
It started at 1.8 and ended at 1.7.
If you have the date in front of you, I need your help. Give me the stats it was, and what is this, viewership? Give me how many viewers there were in January 2025.
January of 2025.
Yeah.
1.82 million.
Okay, now give it to me in August.
1.55.
Okay. So
you're selecting one of the highest and one of his lowest and saying it's losing it.
Well,
look at the next month, 1.7.
Come on, you said
the
it
next month.
Summer.
The next month, September, 1.7.
Yeah, but you said it happened.
That destroys your argument. If it hit 1.3 or 1.2, then you would have an argument.
Hold on. Listen to me. Did it go up after that he came back on the air? When did he get
his highest was in January?
His highest was in January,
1.82.
and he kept going down. And then it was. I don't know why we're arguing about it.
Now you're arguing that it's ratings. It's not ratings. He's in the top 3 out of the top 10.
I'm not doing ratings.
Period.
I'm doing viewership.
So then, why did you say he was fired because of ratings? He's been on the air for 20 years.
Good point. I meant
I'm
viewership.
sure. This is viewership, which is part of ratings.
Okay, then why
the point is that he's been on the air for 20 years
about it?
because you said that he got fired because of his inability to create a show to create viewers.
Never said that.
So then why was he fired then, Jourdan?
You literally made that whole argument.
Why was he fired? Okay, so then why was he fired? I apologize. Why was he fired?
I'll tell you again. Listen this time. I literally just explained it 2 seconds ago. I think that he was going on a downward trend, and with that and the president's influence being there, when he made a
president shouldn't have an influence.
You're not even going to let me.
You just said with the president's influence.
You don't even let me finish.
The president's influence. The president's influence.
Yeah, that's
you
what
just said that.
Yeah.
No, but you were saying it in your reasoning. You said with his downward spiral.
I'm agreeing with you.
With the president's influence.
Yes, with the downward spiral.
Once you say that,
on
it's
top
over.
of the president's influence, because you said that the president. Tell me about his influence.
The day after he was fired. Yes.
Yeah. Tell me about Trump's influence, though. How it, he has a lawyer or something, or
he has hired the chairman of the FCC, who oversees everything, TV and radio. What can be said, what cannot be said.
Okay, but you think that so I think what my argument is that his ratings were going down. He made a very unflattering joke about Trump.
His ratings were not going down.
Well,
his ratings fluctuated, and that's proof of that.
Let's get a date. Look, I'm not here.
Yes, but you are solely saying that he was fired because his ratings were down.
Well, that they were going down. They're on a downward trend.
But how is it a downward trend when the very next month it was at 1.7?
Well, that very next month is when they rehired him.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Give me September 25 until now. Can you give me the ratings for October 25 up until today?
Oct 2, 1 to 7/25, 2.8 mil average, post-return surge. Oct 8 to 14/25, 1.65 mil. Oct 15 to 21.25, 1.6 mil. Oct 22 to 28.25, 1.62 mil. Prelim through 27.
Seems like that it's nothing more than ratings and how they work. He's been on the air
I can
20 years.
agree with your, I can agree
Fluctuation
with your fluctuation point, but you've actually gotten the core concept completely wrong because he was never fired.
He would have never. He was never fired. You're correct. He had.
Yeah, that's what you've been saying though, that he was fired.
He was suspended for a reason.
Oh well, yeah. What was the reason?
And also
what was the reason?
What was the reason that Jimmy Kimmel was fired?
Remarks about Charlie.
Nah, he wasn't fired. ABC suspended his show indefinitely back in September 20.
And what did he say exactly? Just give me the quote as to what he said that got him suspended.
If you want to know why someone would want to take out Charlie Kirk, just look at Turning Point USA's donors. It's like the KKK's wet dream, bankrolled by oil barons and Trump cronies who hate everything America stands for.
Seems like freedom of speech right there.
It is freedom of speech, but a private company has the right to suspend somebody for saying, bro, you can't go like that. I mean, freedom of speech is different when you're under a corporation. They can fire you for whatever you want. There's no constitutional rights built into it. They only suspended.
It's an opinion show.
He said something really, really horrible about Charlie. They suspended.
Charlie's a horrible person. We love it. I love the fact that he said it. Charlie's a horrible human being.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't deserve what he got.
And you're glad he got assassinated.
I'm glad that he's no longer saying racist things. He doesn't deserve to be dead.
Even though you couldn't ever send me a racist
certainly,
thing he said, you still are convinced that he says racist things.
He said that Michelle Obama was a DEI hire.
If you're talking, Michelle Obama wasn't.
Yeah.
You're talking about Kamala. Kamala was a DEI.
No, honey. He said Michelle Obama. Do you want me to pull it up?
Hiring for what? What did she do?
Exactly. She's the first lady.
You have to get hired for that as DEI? That makes no sense.
Instead of...
No, tell me how that makes sense.
I don't know. He said it.
No, he was talking about Kamala most likely.
No, he wasn't. And I'll pull up the video right now just so I can shut you up.
Yep, do it. And by the way, stating somebody that was a DEI hire as an opinion, it's not a bigoted or racist quote.
Sure, that's not rude.
So what if what if okay? Do DEI hires exist? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so what? It's
qualified DEI.
It's bad for me to say like, oh, you're a DEI hire.
DEI hires are qualified.
Okay.
That's the part we're leaving out.
All right.
He said that, and I'm still finding it. He said that they're not. He said he's not qualified. What's really funny,
well, still,
Jourdan,
I see how that's racist.
I sent this video to you.
From you. Not something about his opinion on qualification. I want you. What did he say that's racist?
Sheila Jackson, Roy Reid, and Michelle Obama, and Sheila Jackson Lee, and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks. We would have been called racist. But they're coming out and they're
That's
saying,
like what happened.
They're coming out and they're saying, "I'm only here because of affirmative action." Yeah, we know.
Dude,
you do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Play cut 52.
What you agree with?
I rise today as a clear recipient of affirmative action, particularly in higher education. I may have been admitted on affirmative action, both in terms of being a woman and a woman of color, but I can declare that I did not graduate on affirmative action. This is my personal story.
Okay.
I'm here because of action affirmative. She can't even say that. We know. It's very obvious to us that you were not smart enough to be able to get in on your own. I couldn't make it on my own, so I needed to take opportunities from someone more deserving. You know, this is how arrogant Joy Reid and Ketanji Brown Jackson and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee are. They're so narcissistic, they think this is persuasive. They think we're like, oh, of course. That's why we need affirmative action, because you have impressed us with your brilliance. Of course. Oh no, imagine the world without Joy Reid. Imagine the world without Sheila Jackson Lee or Michelle Obama or Ketanji Brown Jackson. They think this is persuasive. They think as they kind of now reveal that I'm only here because of anti-white, anti-Asian forced discrimination policies. That turned me into a resentful activist that hates white people, honestly, through our pop.
Okay. Let me ask you a question.
No. You just played that.
I just played it. Yeah, I did.
Don't ask me a question. Let me ask you a question.
No. I'm sorry, buddy.
Out where it was racist in what he said. Just tell me the racist.
I'm going to right now. Where did all three of those or all four of those women graduate from?
I don't know, but tell me the racist part though.
Respectfully, Harvard and Yale, all four of them.
Oh, interesting. You see that correlation. Anyway, tell me how that's racist.
How are they not qualified for the positions that they hold?
One of them just said she was put in her position because of DEI.
Because she's
literally
black.
Said it, Andrew.
If this is why I know you're racist, Jordan, because you don't understand the context in which that's said. She is a black woman in this country, which would have been overlooked if it wasn't for DEI. She said at the end, if you were smart enough to listen, I did not graduate on the merits
I
of
did listen,
affirmative
and
action.
I know that point too. But she's saying
understood. So that is a way of saying that I am qualified. And those four went. Where did Charlie Kirk graduate from?
This is where he didn't go to school.
No. He didn't go to school. Correct. So he's going to tell four people that respectively, all four of them, either Harvard or Yale. Look it up if you'd like to. Either Harvard or Yale Law School, or not
accepts DEI.
What? You still got to graduate, Jordan. You
Yeah,
still got to graduate. You understand you trying to disenfranchise and agree that people that are trying to disenfranchise black people that are in positions of power by calling them DEI hires, not even assuming that they went to school, not even assuming that they went to law school.
Charlie Kirk didn't assume any of that.
How many dumb people you know? How many dumb
I'm
people
still waiting
you know
for you to tell me the racist part.
I just told you they graduated from law school. They're in law.
What did he say that's racist? Give me the caption.
Jordan, if
you don't have it because
I'm telling you right now, I keep saying it and you don't understand it. Jordan, you graduated from law school, right? You graduated from law school. You're representing somebody. And then I come out of the woodworks and say, you're not qualified to be here. What would be the first thing that you show me? That you passed the bar, right? That you were a prosecutor. That you were I'm
not arguing any of this. I'm asking you to give me the sentence that's racist.
They graduated from law school, Jordan.
So you're saying
how many unqualified people don't graduate from
graduate from law school? Let me talk. You're not going to tell me what it is. So let me try to.
I just told you. See, this is why I know that you're a bigot. Because you don't understand the simplicity.
Then let me steal.
Four black women graduated with law degrees. How are they not qualified?
Okay, can I now talk?
One of them is on the Supreme Court. Letitia Jackson is one of the most qualified people to be a Supreme Court justice. Why? You may disagree and not like her.
That's an opinion. I understand like Charlie Kirk had.
I don't like Kavanaugh. Right?
She couldn't do it because
I'm not dumb enough to say that Kavanaugh is not deserving of the position. I'm not saying that he's not qualified. I'm sorry. Actually, I am saying he's not deserving. What I'm saying is that I'm never going to say that he's not qualified to be there. I mean, you don't pass the bar, become a prosecutor and a district attorney and a senator and say, well, you're not allowed to be here because you're DEI.
Okay, can I
Do
speak?
you understand? Yeah, if as long as it's not built-in bigotry, then okay.
Your entire point of view is that it's not okay for him to give an opinion on a concept that is right there. It's right built in. I mean, look, by the standards of DEI.
You're a fucking
Okay,
bigot.
okay. So let me stop.
No, but you
You
are.
have not. All you've done is give
Educated
me an
Just
opinion
leave the black out.
saying that she's not qualified.
Educated people.
All did he say she's not qualified because she's a black? Like, where's the racism in that?
Because they are educated, and he still called them
And that's his opinion.
unqualified.
I mean, do you think that Trump's educated?
I know somebody not liking a black
Do you think
person.
Trump's educated?
No,
It's an opinion.
not at all.
It's
No,
an
I
opinion.
don't. He went to the Wharton School.
All right, it's an
I don't-
opinion.
I don't-
Is that racist? If a black guy said that Trump isn't educated, is that racist?
Jordan, how deep are you going to go into your bigotry?
Well, I mean, if you give me the
You
sentence,
can't understand this.
Okay. So it sounds like
Imagine it was done to you. That's why I tried to bring you up into.
Okay, can you give me one more example? One more.
What
Because
better example?
all I heard was an opinion. And in that, the woman saying, yes, I got affirmative action. So just give me one more
You're not understanding that she would not have been
entire thing off of
he
this
was
opinion.
put
Then,
into the time that she went into office was in the 70s and 80s, when it was looked past a woman, especially a woman of color. So
Right.
she may have been looked at differently because of affirmative action. She would have never been looked at if it wasn't for that, even though she was qualified. Why would a Supreme Court justice? So you mean to tell me that Letitia James doesn't deserve to be where she is?
I never made that statement.
Do you think that she's qualified to be where she is?
Letitia James, who is that?
She's a Supreme Court justice.
Are you talking about Jackson? Or
yes, Jackson. I'm sorry. Yes, Letitia Jackson. Yes, I'm sorry.
Well, so I watched every single candidate. I mean, that's when I was like really into watching the Senate. And out of all of the candidates that I watched, which was hilarious, I'd say she was the most qualified. Yeah.
Okay, so where's the argument here then, Jordan?
I'm just asking you to tell me where he made a racist statement.
Because he just tried to tell the masses that she wasn't qualified.
Okay, so that's racist.
Jordan, how else do you see it when she's an educated black woman?
So
and I'm not just talking about
you're not qualified, bro. That's politics. Like,
he didn't just go to Rutgers. He's not in politics, Jordan. He's an influencer, which is what he did.
Influencer. Then why don't you do this? Give me one more example.
What better example would there be?
What
better example would there be?
Your best example
in the higher
is
education. You just said that Asians were discriminated against because they couldn't get into these major schools. Now one of them goes to it, and all of a sudden they're not qualified.
I mean, that's Charlie Kirk's terms, not mine, and that's his
probably
opinion.
Why he's dead, because of shit like that.
So you should die because of freedom of speech.
Bigotry is a part of freedom of speech,
and you should die because of it.
He doesn't deserve to be dead for it, but maybe that's why.
Well, wait. Well, all I heard him say was that they're not qualified. That's it. I didn't hear them.
How do you?
I didn't hear they're not qualified because they're black. I didn't hear him put them down with derogatory terms. So all I'm asking you is okay. I can give you where there's like
not giving, Jordan.
Can you give me one more example, or is this it?
4 highly educated black people?
Well, it's a bad example.
It's a great example.
If your whole opinion on him being racist is this one clip, then you've really missed the point. If you can give me one more, it's a very low standard. You're saying this guy is massively bigoted and racist. I'm asking you for now 2 clips, because the first one was nothing derogatory in it. It was him giving an opinion.
What is on Letitia Jackson's resume?
No, Andrew, I'm asking you to tell me another statement that Kirk made that was racist.
From what I see, she's a motivational speaker, entrepreneur, and activist. Resume highlights: CEO of her own consulting firm.
We're talking about the Supreme Court justice.
My bad. You mean Ketanji Brown Jackson, the first Black woman on the Supreme Court. Her resume is stacked. Harvard undergrad in law, cum laude, clerk for Justice Breyer, federal public defender, VP at a nonprofit, judge on DC Circuit since 2021, appointed to SCOTUS in 2022.
You're going down a ghost trail.
What do you think? Why would you think
I
that
personally
Charlie
said that
called
she was the
her
most
unqualified?
qualified. You're going down a ghost trail, so you don't have to find another example because there are none. I mean, like, dude, if he was racist, you'd be able to pick examples left and right.
I just did, Jordan.
You
Her
give me one
resume
and having an
proves that
opinion.
she is a.
Okay, well,
her
then
resume
if his
proves it.
opinion is
Her
the only one you
resume
can give me,
proves it.
then
Jordan,
if that's
her
the only one
resume
you can
and
give
her
me, then that's a
education.
really weak example.
Resume and education. Resume, education. What more do you need to get a job on this planet other than resume and education?
Is it possible that somebody was, and I'm just saying, is it possible, so calm down, is it possible that somebody was more qualified?
I'm so disappointed in you, Jordan. That's why I'm like this. Because
See,
at one point in my life,
here's-
I revered you, and now you're just a disgusting Charlie Kirk. That's
well,
what you
see,
are.
this is the thing. I just told you that
You can't
Jackson was
understand
the most
why
qualified to
that's
become.
racist, bro.
I just literally told you that she was the most qualified. All right.
Yet
you're
you
harping on
still
Charlie
agree that Charlie Kirk didn't say anything
My
wrong.
only argument to you.
If your only argument is that it's an opinion, fine.
Yeah.
I agree it's an opinion.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Can you
That's
send?
not an
Can you give
argument.
me something where he's racist? Where he's like being racist,
Because she
like you know, like
was
all those
qualified.
damn
Okay,
transgenders.
okay.
You know,
Jordan, if a black woman is qualified and a white man says that you're not qualified, why would he say that?
Because he doesn't think she's qualified.
Why?
Well, if a white man says that to a white woman, it's like
That's not what happened here.
Not
it's a black woman. Why did he do it?
You're
Why
trying to assume that the only reason why he would say that is because he's black. Is because she's black. That's
not the only reason. He said a black pilot, he would be afraid if they knew how to fly. Okay, we can go off to that one. That is not the only time where he's pointed out black people and them not being qualified.
Is he's pointing out the flaws
Look at you.
in DEI.
Look at you. How many black pilots have had accidents?
I don't know.
Exactly, you don't.
Do you?
No.
Then why are you asking?
Because you shouldn't be saying things that you don't know.
Dude, I didn't say anything. You're the one. You made that.
How many black pilots? Look,
you just made
Jordan,
that statement up.
You're defending a bigot. I don't know if you're doing it out of pure joy or just to be argumentative, but you stand with the stance of racism. You are a bigot by default.
So this
is because
of
where you stand.
This is
if
my
your
opinion.
argument is that it's an opinion, then you need to argue the opinion. Is the opinion racist then? I'm not arguing it whether he just said it out of his own free will. I'm arguing it whether it's right or wrong to say that.
Well, whether it's racist to say that.
That's part of right or wrong, Jordan.
Well, no, because the statement is we're trying to figure out, is he racist?
He is clearly a racist.
Just by saying that, you know, he's
it's not just
racist.
that. That is one of many. That is one of many instances. Okay, he called a department store worker. Let's pull it up. You can hear him say it yourself, not me.
Okay. And this will be the last one that I will ask you to example to produce on Charlie Kirk. I won't.
What did Charlie Kirk say about black people that work in retail? Can you just give me the quote only?
Black people in retail? That's where they belong. Punching clocks at Walmart, not running boardrooms or courts. DEI is just a scam to put them everywhere else.
I mean, how much worse do you get than that?
Let's see.
Black people
dude,
that's where they belong.
That is racist.
At Walmart, not running board.
Dude, that is
That's
racist.
not what he said. That's a twisted paragraph.
Can you give me the full quote about Black women and them working in retail.
Black women do not have the brain processing power to be taken seriously in elite roles. You have to go steal a white person's slot.
When did Charlie Kirk say that?
Man, that's a fabricated quote, a total hoax floating around after Kirk's assassination in
Oh.
September.
No, he said that.
It
It's
is a
on video.
hoax.
No, it's not a fucking hoax, bro. It's on
Well,
video.
why did you just say it? Just show me the video, what you did before. Just do the audio. All right. Go ahead. And then we're done with this. I'm just asking for one more thing. Just do the audio of it.
You really have to wonder. In fact, you know, if we would have said 3 weeks ago, Blake, if we would have said that Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the
This is a compilation, so hold up.
But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah,
Well,
we know.
There we go.
You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously.
You don't have the brain processing
You have-
power.
Hold on. Pause
Now,
right
hold
there.
on. That's the first one.
Wait.
There's more to come.
It's in
There's more to
context.
come.
Rise today as a clear
There's more to come.
Without Joy Reid.
While you're looking at it, I'm just going to make the point that this is the flaw in DEI, that if you're going to have, because the whole premise is you're choosing somebody else that's not as qualified. So, I mean, this is the flaw in it, and he's just exploiting it.
No. It's not a flaw when you graduate.
There,
Harvard.
look for the thing. Look for the thing.
Wait. What you just said, Harvard Law School, that's not qualified to be a
Look for the
Supreme Court
thing.
justice?
Look
So
for the
yes
thing.
or no? Yes or no?
Oh my God, you're diverting. He's not racist. You can't find anything that he says that's racist.
He's dead
Go
because
ahead
he
and
is
find
racist.
it.
He's dead because he is a bigot. That's why he's dead.
Yeah, well, and you've been propagandized because you can't even show me a clip of him saying
I
something
just
like
showed
this.
you a clip of him saying that. I'm still looking for it, Jourdan.
Actually, I'm gonna
Go ahead.
a
Please.
clip of his
Intervene.
opinion. He didn't. It wasn't derogatory. It was his opinion because of DEI. But go ahead, show me something where he's saying something racist.
I just showed you one you didn't think it was
Okay,
racist.
then show me a second one. I said I want two.
Okay, fine. Jesus Christ.
And please, I want the audio of it, not a quote of it, because I want to hear the full thing.
I don't want LaQuisha James.
This is the
who,
same
like,
one.
And she's just like, ladies and gentlemen, pray for me. They think you can't say anything about it because they'll call you a racist. We really have to take the gloves off and say your name calling will not get in the way of people's safety at 35,000.
This is one of the ways that he
Hold on. Do you see what just
Hold on.
happened
This is somebody talking over it. I don't
You
want
see what
somebody
just
talking
happened
over it.
there?
I just want the
That was
straight
half of
video.
a clip. That was like
That's why I turned it off. No, Jourdan, don't.
Okay,
fucking
was that the one?
I turned
Was
it
that
off
the
for a
racist
fucking
clip?
reason.
Was that the racist clip for you that you wanted to show
No,
me?
it wasn't. That's why I turned it
Okay,
off,
go ahead
Jourdan.
and find one.
If the first one wasn't racist, you're not going to find any of them racist. Let's be honest here. But I'm still going to find it. I mean, you disgust me on on a cellular level, bro. Like, you're disgusting. This is why I don't like you at all. But I like to have conversation because I love destroying racist Trumpies like yourself. There's
I'm
nothing
the one doing
that
this
makes me
thing.
feel better than to fucking destroy people like you. Your herpes is flaring up, so you got to watch out with that.
Yes, it is.
That's why I think this United story and the DEI story hits so hard, because we've all been in the back of a plane when the turbulence hits, or when you're flying through a storm and you're like, I'm so glad I saw the guy with the right stuff and the square jaw get into the cockpit before we took off. And I feel better now.
You want to go thought crime? Like, I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
Well, you wouldn't have done that. You wouldn't have done that before.
That's not an immediate.
No, you wouldn't
That's
have done
not
that
who I
before.
am. That's not what I believe.
It is the reality the left has
But
created.
Okay.
We don't.
How do you defend?
So his racist. His
So
most racist
if
thing is
you
making
see a
points
black
about